Welcome to the Fantasy Audiobook. National Transfer. Weak Wizards. I Can Dissect the Gods. Chapter 21. Naming. The Red Fox was slightly stunned. But I already have a name. The Red Fox family is naturally psychic, and is much more psychic than ordinary spirit beasts. Every red fox born will take Red as the surname and will be given the name by the elders of the clan. My name is Crimson Crimson, Crimson Crimson Crimson, Crimson Crimson Crimson. Kai Fei, a nice name. It's a nice name and has a lot of personality. Chen Yuan gave up the plan to give her a new name. What about your name? Kai Fei asked curiously, blinking her eyes. Chen Yuan, however, since you are already my contracted spirit beast, shouldn't you call me master? No, unexpected. Kai Fei is very resistant to this name. There was an inexplicable blush on his face. Seeing this, Chen Yuan was puzzled. Hey, you are a spirit beast, not a human. If you were human, it might be strange to call me master. But the question is, you are a spirit beast, what's so shy? No shouting. Kai Fei still resisted, but bit her lip, as if she wanted to say something, but it was difficult to speak. Chen Yuan's heart moved slightly, and he glanced at the original text of the world. World Original, Spirit Beasts, Customs. Red Fox. The Red Fox family is psychic by nature, and has the innate ability to incarnate in human form. Therefore, it is not uncommon for the Red Fox family to intermarry with humans. Humans who are recognized by the Red Fox women are called masters. The Red Fox is fierce, from the beginning to the end. When the owner dies, the Red Fox also dies. Chen Yuan, tell the truth, he really did not expect such a layer. But since this is the custom of the Red Fox clan, he can't force it. Then just call me by my name for now. Hearing that Chen Yuan did not continue to force her to call that title, Kai Fei was deeply relieved. Although Chen Yuan's identity is mysterious, he is also very handsome. But that kind of thing is definitely not something that can be decided so easily. Many fox clans are seductive by nature, but the Red Fox clan has always been loyal and enthusiastic like a flame. Ask her to call the owner of a person she has not known for a long time, even if the two were linked by a contract, she can't do it anyway. By the way, my incarnation needs to consume mental power, and I may have to change back to my original body first. Whatever. Played another level in the Plains of Weeping. It was almost 10 o'clock when Chen Yuan returned home. Today's harvest can be described as quite rich. The first is that the level has been raised to LV.6. This upgrade has no additional attributes for strength and agility. However, the mental strength increased by 2 points, and it came to 37 points. Secondly, a contract spirit beast of silver rank was harvested. The Ghost King, because of absorbing the ghost energy of the ghost, is very likely to undergo alienation and fall into a deep sleep. Finally, Chen Yuan's gaze fell on Yuanhua in the personal warehouse. This is a silver-level elixir, which is invaluable, especially its affinity for the fire element, which greatly improves it. If it was sold in the elixir house, the value would definitely be more than 1 million Longxia coins. However, Chen Yuan naturally couldn't sell it, but directly checked the World Original. World Original Book, Potion, Element Affinity Potion. Fire Element Chapter. Secret Medicine Flame Blessing. It can greatly improve the affinity of the fire element and reach the resonance level. Recipe: 1 yuan flower, 1 gallbladder of huoling snake, 50 milliliters of red fox blood. Secret medicine: can the element affinity be raised to the resonance level? Chen Yuan remembers studying it in school. The affinity level of professionals to elements is divided into feeling, closeness, resonance, fusion, elemental spirit. His current affinity level for elements should only stay at feelings. For a mage, at the second turn, it is possible to achieve closeness, and at the third turn, it is possible to achieve resonance. As a result, this secret medicine named Blessing of Flames can directly increase the affinity of the fire element to resonance, which is comparable to the third turn mage. This made Chen Yuan very interested. If you take this flame blessing, the fire element affinity level will reach resonance. That is equivalent to learning the spells of the 3-turn mage. In the Black Iron rank, you can use the 3rd-turn spell. In the big test, there should be no opponents, right? As for the formula of the secret medicine, Yuanhua already has it. The words of Red Fox blood. Chen Yuan turned his head and looked aside. Hey, I might use a little of your blood later, okay? How much? About 50 milliliters. Quote. What are you bringing it for? Make a secret medicine called Fire Blessing. Whatever you want, 50 milliliters is not a lot. Wait. Kai Fei, who was resting lazily on the sofa, stood up abruptly. Those good-looking fox eyes were full of shock that could not be concealed. You will do flame blessings. Well, I can do it, but I haven't finished collecting the materials yet. Quote. Looking at Chen Yuan, who was light and windy. Kai Fei's heart seemed to have set off a huge wave, and she couldn't calm down for a long time. I have a whole new understanding of Chen Yuan's mystery. You know, the flame blesses this elixir. Only the oldest elders in the Red Fox clan will make it. Just 10 milliliters of blessing of fire can raise her current bloodline by a level. What's the matter? Have you heard of this secret medicine? Seeing that Kai Fei's expression was not quite right, Chen Yuan asked curiously. Listen, heard. Kai Fei, who had regained her senses, swallowed her saliva. Trying to suppress the longing in my heart. Fire blessing. More than just heard of it. This is simply the secret medicine she dreams of getting. Because the effect of taking blessing of fire is much better than directly swallowing yuyan flower. That, after you're done, can you share a little with me? A little is enough. Looking at Kai Fei's uncharacteristically twisted look, Chen Yuan suddenly felt that this guy was quite cute. Didn't I say it at the time? Yuanhua will give it to me, I will make the best use of it, and then give it to you. Besides, you are now my contracted spirit beast. If you can become stronger, I will definitely be happy to see you. So, I don't need you to tell me, I will also divide you. Only, Chen Yuan dragged the end. Just what? Haven't had time to be happy yet. Kai Fei suddenly became a little nervous. Shouldn't it be, what is he going to make excessive demands? Only, Chen Yuan looked away from Kai Fei's face. It landed on the fluffy tail behind her. If you take blessing of fire, can the two tails you disappeared come back? Kai Fei, what are all these weird concerns? Although this is the first time she has intimate contact with a human male, she has heard from her sisters in the clan before. Human males may have some weird quirks. Like the more tails, the more excited they may be. Shouldn't I have encountered a pervert? Before Kai Fei could speak, Chen Yuan said to himself. I was thinking, if your tail can regenerate, doesn't that mean you can have 3 lives again? This kind of magical blood power, if possible, I really want to dissect you to study it well. Kai Fei, that's what he's focused on. It doesn't seem like what I've encountered as a pervert. Wait, it doesn't seem to be much different from metamorphosis. Seeing Kai Fei's eyes change a bit, Chen Yuan showed a gentle smile. Sorry, I have an occupational disease. I'm actually just curious. You are my contracted spirit beast, and it is impossible for me to dissect you anyway. I'm very good to contract spirit beasts. If you don't believe it, when the obedient Ghost King wakes up, you can ask it. After Kai Fei cast a ghost believe look, she lay down on the sofa again. Squinting his narrow fox eyes, he looked at this somewhat strange contractor. After the topic of the blessing of fire, secret medicine fell, he took out some bottles and jars from his personal warehouse and started to fiddle with something. At first, I thought he was an assassin. Later, looking at the flaming sword, I thought he was a mage. Now, he said that he would make blessing of fire, and he was fiddling with those potion materials. Hey, can you tell me, what kind of occupation are you? Chen Yuan, who was making low-level spiritual tonics, responded while concentrating on mixing the mixed liquid in his hand. First of all, I told you that you cannot call me master, but at least call me by my name. The word, hello, is very impolite. Secondly, my occupation. Just finished configuring a bottle of low-level mental strength tonic and threw it into the personal warehouse. Chen Yuan turned his head and gave Kai Fei a big smile. Just an ordinary wizard. Wizard, Kai Fei knows this profession. It seems to be the weaker one among human professionals. A little bit of everything, but not proficient in anything. In the early stage, it may be fine, but in the middle and late stages, it will be opened up by other occupations. Unexpectedly, This mysterious guy turned out to be a wizard. No wonder everything will be a little. Kai Fei's narrow fox eyes gradually closed. However, it always feels like he's not the same. Single quote. I am the man who will be on top of the world sooner or later. Single quote, single quote. It is your luck to meet me. Single quote, single quote. What kind of person would say such a thing? Single quote. After thinking about it, drowsiness gradually came. It's warm inside, except for the sound of the guy fiddling with the instrument. Quite comfortable. At least, it's more reassuring than in the wild. The sky is white, the first rays of sunshine in the morning. Chen Yuan got up on time at 6 o'clock as usual. Before going to bed last night, he would add the ghost cores he collected with the spirit leaf grass that was not used up last time. Remade a batch of low-level mental strength supplements, the number is 60. Including the original inventory, the total number came to 88. This is a real gun. The Ghost King guy, there is no restriction on the use of mental tonics. As long as there is a tonic, you can hit it up, and then use sanity sacrifice punishment. Recycling, scientific and environmental protection. He glanced at the blue ring a little. The Ghost King guy hasn't woken up yet. What the hell is that ghostly aura absorbed? The original text of the world only said that it is a cold ghost, which has the effect of corroding the body and absorbing vitality. As for where it came from and who it belonged to, I didn't say at all. According to Chen Yuan's speculation, there should be a lot of people who have this kind of ghost. Multiple sources could not be identified, so the world scriptures were not explicitly stated. Don't care, I'll talk about it after the alienation of the Ghost King is completed. Get out of bed and wash up. Glancing at the sofa, Kai Fei was curled up and asleep. Thinking of the injury she suffered yesterday, Chen Yuan was not in a hurry to wake her up. Turn around and go downstairs to buy rice balls for breakfast. Today's task, try to see if you can find a fire snake, the world's original. World Originals Monsters. Fire Spirit Snake. Introduction. Snake monsters condensed from fire elements are very rare and often only appear in places with extremely strong fire elements. Location. Active craters, underground caves, various fire attribute copies, secret realms. Original recommendation. There seems to be a fire attribute dungeon nearby. Maybe try your luck. After reading the original recommendation, Chen Yuan immediately thought of the dungeon it was referring to, Loyan Island. This is a special copy of the officially occupied entrance of Hangzhou City. The difficulty of the dungeon is bronze, and the average level of monsters is above LV.10. When I was in school, the teacher said that most of the monsters in Loyan Island are fire attributes, and most of the attacks are in the form of fire elements. Because of the blood sacrifice contract, I can share 50% of Kai Fei's talent. She can be immune to 80% of fire attribute attacks, and I can be immune to 40%. It shouldn't be difficult to brush this dungeon. Are you awake? I don't know when. Kai Fei has woken up. He also quietly approached Chen Yuan. He stared intently at the rice ball in Chen Yuan's hand. What is this? Kai Fei is now in human form. The good-looking little Chong sniffed lightly twice. It's called onigiri. Do you want to eat it? Ow. Before waiting for Chen Yuan to respond, Kai Fei had already swallowed the rice ball in Chen Yuan's hand. I've eaten this before. What's the matter? Kai Fei looked at Chen Yuan suspiciously while reminiscing about the deliciousness of the rice balls. Obviously, apart from the special things between men and women, she doesn't know much about other living habits of human beings. Naturally, I don't know that this kind of behavior is often regarded as indirect kissing in humans. Chen Yuan sighed. Nothing. Let's go downstairs and buy you another. After eating, go to the dungeon with me. Hangzhou City Center Plaza. Loyan Island before the entrance of the dungeon. The two girls caught everyone's attention. The short one is petite and cute, like a lowly girl who came out of the second dimension. The tall one has a protruding figure and a dusty appearance, with a tall ponytail tied behind his head, and his slender jade legs always make people take a second look. Sister, you promised me, you want to catch a flame rabbit for me in the dungeon as a pet. Lin Lele raised her head and looked expectantly at her sister Lin Yan, who came back from college vacation. Got it, it's all you can look at. Lin Yan reluctantly reached out and rubbed Lin Lily's head. My little sister, who just awakened as a beastmaster, but 2 days have passed, and not a single monster has been subdued. As a result, yesterday, when I saw the flame rabbit in the monster illustration, I couldn't like it. I had to pull myself to this bronze dungeon and grab one. A copy of this difficulty. What is there to brush? However, she is a sister after all. It's not easy to go home for college vacation. This little wish of my sister still has to be fulfilled. But let me say it first, this flaming rabbit can be kept as a pet for you. If you expect it to be used against the enemy in the big test, it is estimated that you will not be able to enter the top 1,000 of the province. Know it, Lin Lele pouted and replied. Seeing this, Lin Yan sighed. Your sister and I were in the top 50 in the province back then. I was recruited to Longhua University. As my sister, you have also awakened to become a beastmaster. Do you want to go to a pheasant university? Who said I'm going to Yeji University? I want to be like my sister. Go to Longhua University. Then you still keep the pet beasts prepared for you at home and do not accept them. Why do you have to come to subdue the flaming rabbit? I don't like that big lizard, it's ugly, and I know how to push me, and my trap ring doesn't work. Lin Lele complained, recalling the scene when he tried to capture the big lizard, and was unhappy. Please, that's a rhinoceros ground dragon. Anyway, it has a trace of dragon blood. If you subdue it, you are guaranteed to be in the top 100 in the province. Lin Yan's head was covered in black lines, and she was a little speechless at the fact that the rhinoceros ground dragon, which she managed to acquire after spending a lot of connections and resources, was called the Tuatara. Don't say it, I'll go home and take down the big lizard after I've captured the flaming rabbit. Lin Lele said angrily, the appearance of his hands on his hips is very cute. Quote. Seeing that Lin Lele understood, Lin Yan stopped talking. Waiting for the opening of Loyan Island. You can eat 5 rice balls in one breath, are you sure you won't die? Along the way, Chen Yuan watched Kai Fei eat all the 5 rice balls he bought, and expressed some incomprehension. This guy's body is so perfect that he is outrageous, and he has been stared at a lot along the way, and the rate of turning back is even more leveraged. But her flat stomach didn't look like she had eaten 5 rice balls at all. Hey, this thing digested at once, I just thought it was delicious, so I ate more. Okay, you can eat more, and you'll be fine in the dungeon later. Don't you want to be a man on the top of the world? Do you want me to do the dungeon? Do you understand what is called a developmental period? Besides, you are my contract spirit beast now, so you can't make me comfortable. The two choked each other all the way until they came to the entrance of Loyan Island. Chen Yuan. A surprised cry came. It was exactly the same as in front of the Lubin Union gate that day. Lin Lele. Chen Yuan couldn't help but sigh. My relationship with this little loli is really good. Come to brush a copy, you can actually encounter it. It's just that the girl with a high ponytail standing beside Lin Lele is. Introduction. This is my sister Lin Yan. Sister, this is my classmate, and I think the most handsome boy in our class, Chen Yuan. Lin Lele's introduction was as unique as ever. To avoid embarrassment, Chen Yuan could only keep a polite smile. Lin Yan nodded slightly at Chen Yuan as a greeting. However, Lin Lele's eyes immediately fell on Kai Fei next to Chen Yuan. After seeing Kai Fei's face clearly, this enthusiastic and cheerful little loli unconsciously covered her mouth with her hand. How can there be such a beautiful sister? The corners of Lin Yan's eyes twitched, and she took Lin Lele's collar and dragged her back to her side. Lin Lele seemed to not see the embarrassment on his old sister's face, and kept asking about the relationship between Chen Yuan and Kai Fei. But he didn't wait for Chen Yuan to speak. Kai Fei opened her mouth first with a smile. I'm his sister, hello little sister. This opening directly takes advantage of Chen Yuan. Chen Yuan said that this cannot be used to. He directly stretched out his arms and wrapped his arms around Kai Fei's waist, pulling it into his arms. Don't listen to her jokes, this is my girlfriend, her name is Kai Fei. Lin Lele. Aside, Lin Yan obviously didn't want to participate in this topic. Seeing that the Loyan Island dungeon is about to open, he said. Since it's Lele's classmate, let's do a copy together. Let's go together. Lin Lele also helped. My sister was in the top 50 of the province last year, I will soon complete the 2nd rank and be promoted to the silver rank. We can lie down and pass the dungeon. The top 50 in the province of the previous session will soon be promoted to the silver rank in the second rank. Chen Yuan opened the eyes of true vision with some curiosity. Lin Yan bronze rank LV.19 spiritual teacher. Attributes: strength 19, agility 18, mental power 34. Spiritual teacher. If I remember correctly, this seems to be a rare profession, right? It should be a profession with psychic power as the main ability. Mental strength 34 points. According to the basic standard of mental power biased occupations, the mental power attribute of LV.19 should be 29 points. Lin Yan's 34 points of mental power means that she has 5 upgrades and has increased her mental power by 2 points. Although she is not as good as herself, she is already considered a genius. Close the eye of true sight. Chen Yuan thought for a moment. The more the number of people, the more monsters will be refreshed in the corresponding dungeon. In this way, the chances of the fire spirit snake being refreshed will also increase. Then let's go together. Great, Lin Lele said excitedly. We welcome Chen Yuan to join us. Soon, the copy will open. After signing the risk self-responsibility letter and paying the corresponding fees, the four entered the copy's teleportation array together. With a flash of white light, the four were teleported to the inside of the copy. Bronze Stage Loyan Island. Dungeon Introduction. A unique island. Huge blocks of lava will randomly drop from the sky, and the monsters on the island are eroded by fire elements, gradually becoming crazy and dangerous. Clearance reward. A random bronze experience reward. Island entrance. Feel the hot air around you. Both Lin Yan and Lin Lele felt uncomfortable. On the other hand, Chen Yuan and Kai Fei felt nothing at all. However, Lin Yan was a bronze rank spiritual teacher after all, and she quickly used her spiritual power to form a barrier around the four of them, filtering out the fire element in the air. In this way, Lin Yan and Lin Lili's faces, which were reddened by the fire element in the air, returned to their normal expressions. Most of the monsters here are above LV.10, and they still pose a great threat to your newly awakened professionals. I brought my sister to catch the flame rabbit. If you encounter other monsters later, if you want to try to kill it, you can try it. If I can't handle it and encounter danger, I will take action, so you can rest assured. Of course, if you don't have this idea, I can take you to lie down directly. Lin Yan, who had returned to normal, said to Chen Yuan and Kai Fei. Although she has the ability to take a few people to lie down this copy. But compared to the simple Lin Lele, as a sister, she must be more delicate. If you take the other person to lie down without asking, it is very likely that it will hurt the other person's self-esteem, and it may have a bad impact on the sister's-classmate relationship. However, Lin Lele, who didn't understand her sister's meaning, suddenly ran to Chen Yuan's side, stood on tiptoe and whispered in Chen Yuan's ear. What you awakened as a wizard. You shouldn't have much combat power now. Just let my sister take it directly. After he finished speaking, he also pulled Chen Yuan's shirt and winked with him, meaning that Chen Yuan should not be forced. Seeing this, Chen Yuan naturally knew that Lin Lele was kind and didn't mean to ridicule at all. This guy has a simple mind, but he is famous in the school. Therefore, Chen Yuan was also happy to lie down. He came to this copy for the sole purpose. Just try your luck to see if you can brush the fire spirit snake. Others don't matter at all. As for the red crimson, it would be impossible to care about that. After thinking about it clearly, Chen Yuan smiled at Lin Yan and said. Then I have to trouble sister Lin Yan to lie down. Small things. Lin Yan waved her hand and didn't care. To be honest, it would be easier for her to lie down directly with her. Otherwise, you must always pay attention to whether this classmate of your sister will be in danger. Let's go. I set up a barrier around me. There is no way for the lava falling from the sky to hit us. Long live my sister. There is only one road on Loyan Island. As the crowd advanced, monsters eroded by fire elements continued to pour out on the road. The level of these monsters is about LV.10 to LV.15. It's just that it was almost a face-to-face encounter and was instantly beheaded by Lin Yan. The beheading method is also quite strange. Lin Yan didn't do anything or cast spells. Those monsters were all beheaded, and some were even torn apart. With the help of true sight, Chen Yuan could see Lin Yan's technique clearly. It turns out that spiritual teachers can transform spiritual power into invisible power. With the power of thought as the blade, it is invisible, and it is difficult to detect. It can kill people in the invisible. Almost all the monsters along the way were killed by this kind of psychic blade. It can only be said that he deserves to be the top 50 top geniuses in the province. This kind of strength is really terrifying among the same level. Of course, if Chen Yuan was against Lin Yan himself, he would have the confidence to win her. This is because the mind power blade has its advantages, and naturally it also has disadvantages. Its disadvantage is that it is too slow. After the eye of true sight is opened, there is nowhere to hide the sharp blade of mind power, which can be easily avoided. En route, the only one who escaped the beheading of Lin Yan's psychic blade was the flame rabbit. This monster, composed of fire elements, is similar in shape to a rabbit. Lin Yan used her thoughts to form a mesh cover, and after holding the flaming rabbit firmly, she handed it over to Lin Lele. When the Beastmaster is awakened, he will obtain the talent Beast Affinity and the skill Basic Contract Art. Beast Affinity, it can reduce the hostility of monsters to the Beastmaster. Basic Contract Technique, you can sign a contract with monsters, but the success rate is impressive. Several people just watched Lin Lele release the Basic Contract Technique 8 times in front of the flaming rabbit before successfully subduing the flaming rabbit. Of course, the corresponding price is that Lin Lele's mental strength bottomed out, and he was exhausted. Seeing that Lin Lele was so tired that he couldn't walk, Chen Yuan thought about it, took one of the 88 low-level mental strength supplements in his personal warehouse, and handed it over. What is this? Lin Lele, who had never seen low-level mental strength supplements, asked feebly. She was so tired that she couldn't even use the appraisal technique. Instead, Lin Yan, who was supporting her, lit up. Low-level spiritual tonic. Chen Yuan nodded, not surprised that Lin Yan recognized the mental tonic. After all, as a spiritual teacher, she is a profession that consumes a lot of spiritual power, and this kind of thing must be used. Lin Yan took the low-level mental strength supplement from Chen Yuan and fed it to Lin Lele. She was relieved to see that her spirit had improved. Thank you, I have used up my share of mental strength supplements this month. I don't have it on my body either. It's my negligence, I should ask Lele to prepare a few in advance. This kind of thing, there is a share limit. Chen Yuan suddenly heard the new statement and asked curiously. Of course, Lin Yan nodded. Continued. It is quite difficult to make timely mental power supplements, and the supply is extremely limited. Even low-level mental power supplements have purchase restrictions. Black Iron rank professionals can buy up to 5 a month, Bronze rank, increase to 10, as for Silver rank, you need to use intermediate mental strength supplements, but there are corresponding restrictions. Even sometimes, the silver-level powerhouses' purchase of intermediate-level spiritual tonics is restricted, and they will still buy low-level spiritual tonics to make up. Their limit is 50 per month. Turns out there is such a thing. I glanced at the 87 low-level mental tonics left in my personal warehouse. Chen Yuan suddenly felt like, a little wide. Rest in place for a while. When Lin Lele's mental strength recovered, the group continued to move forward. The huge blocks of lava that fell from time to time in the sky were cut off by the psychic barrier before reaching the top of everyone's heads. The monsters on the road were still beheaded by Lin Yan at the first sight, and everything seemed very easy. Unfortunately, Chen Yuan did not find any trace of the fire spirit snake. According to the introduction of World Originals, due to its special composition, the fire snake crawls while winding. It will leave traces of burning flames on the ground. But so far, no such traces have been found. It should be the boss area further ahead. After beheading an LV.16 monster, Lin Yan reminded by looking at the lava cave not far away. Loyan Island is a dungeon of the bronze rank. The map is not large, and it took everyone less than an hour to arrive in front of the lava cave where the boss is located. The boss here is called Lava Giant, an elite monster at the peak of the LV.19 bronze rank. In order to ensure safety, I will go forward and single-handedly later, and you guys can chat in the back. Received. Come on, sister. Lin Lele saluted, and then took Chen Yuan and Kai Fei to see the flaming rabbit she just subdued. Lin Yan was a little helpless, but she didn't say anything and walked towards the lava cave alone. When Lin Yan gradually approached the lava cave, there was a violent vibration. Then, there was a deafening roar. Tread, tread, tread. With lava caves, the 2-meter-high lava giant walked out. Every step made the ground tremble once. The lava giant was covered with scorching magma. The huge rock size makes its defense power reach an astonishing level. If it is an ordinary bronze-level professional here, it is estimated that there is really no way to take it for a while. But, for Lin Yan who brushed this dungeon a long time ago, killing the lava giant is not difficult at all. The lava giant's chest. Under the lava cover, there is a red crystal. That crystal, which contains the violent fire element, is the power core of the lava giant. As long as it is destroyed with a psychic blade, the lava giant can be paralyzed. After that, you only need to smash it with the giant hammer formed by the power of thought and you are done. Therefore, Lin Yan did not take this lava giant in his eyes at all. Rear of the battle, Chen Yuan was teasing the flaming rabbit with Lin Lele. After the original violent flame rabbit was subdued, it was really cute. No wonder Lin Lele had to come to Loyan Island to capture one. But suddenly, Kai Fei on the side pulled Chen Yuan's shirt. From the look on his face, he seemed to have something to say. Chen Yuan understood and temporarily separated from Lin Lele. The two came to the corner. What's the matter? What's the matter? I feel like something is not right. Huh, what's wrong? There seems to be something here that is related to my bloodline. If there is no accident, there may be special circumstances later. Is it related to your bloodline? Chen Yuan frowned slightly. Kai Fei's bloodline comes from the 9-tailed red fox, an epic creature with fire attributes. Here, Loyan Island is also a copy of the fire attribute. Is there a connection between the two? Just when Chen Yuan was thinking, a tremor was heard not far away. Turn around and look. It turned out to be the shock caused by the fall of the huge lava giant. The crystal on the lava giant's chest has been shattered by Lin Yan's psychic blade. The lava giant lost power and could no longer maintain his balance, so he fell to the ground. Soon, Lin Yan transformed into an invisible giant hammer with the power of thought. It fell from the air and slammed into the lava giant's body. Boom, 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 3 times in a row. Smash the lava giant's body directly into pieces. The copy boss was solved just like that, although there is a certain consumption of mental strength. But overall, it's pretty easy. Lin Yan clapped her hands and walked towards the group of people. The dungeon boss has been killed by me. After about half a minute, the dungeon settlement reward interface will appear. Sister is great. Lin Lele cheered. Chen Yuan remained silent. If what Kai Fei said is true, well, chances are, this copy is not over yet. Really, after half a minute, the dungeon settlement interface has not yet appeared. Lin Yan also noticed the abnormality. The good-looking brow wrinkled and looked around. What's the matter? It stands to reason that the copy of the lava giant will be completed when it dies. When I brushed the copy before, the process was like this. At this time, a shock suddenly appeared on Lin Lele's face, and his mouth opened into an O shape. He stammered and pointed to the place where the lava giant fell behind Lin Yan. Sister, that guy doesn't seem to be dead yet. Hearing this, Lin Yan was stunned for a moment. Then he turned around abruptly, staring at the lava giant that had been split into countless pieces. Special correlation factor detected. The hidden content of the copy is about to appear. Bronze level dungeon is promoted to silver level dungeon. Please get ready. With the sound of the copy system came. Lin Yan's face instantly turned pale. Copy hidden content. Promoted from bronze rank to silver rank. Why did you never know that this Loyan Island dungeon would be advanced? Where is the problem? Bronze level copy, she can easily run over. But once promoted to a silver dungeon, the difficulty will definitely increase several times more than it is now. Feel the surrounding fire element gradually become more and more violent. Even the always optimistic Lin Lele noticed something was wrong. She also knew very well how big the strength gap was between the silver rank and the bronze rank. The cute little face was pale, and the voice was a little crying. Sister, what should I do now? Don't be afraid. Lin Yan tries to comfort Lin Lele, but even her own voice trembled. Beside the two, Chen Yuan calmly opened the world original code. World Original Books, Instances, Secret Stories. Loyan Island. Hundreds of years ago, the nine-tailed red fox conquered countless races as a true spirit. One of them is the lava giant. A few lava giants escaped their original habitat and fell to this island. Far from the lava core, their strength has been greatly weakened, and there is not one in 100, but the resentment of the nine-tailed red fox in their hearts will never be extinguished. Close the world canon. Chen Yuan knew what Kai Fei just said. Only, the nine-tailed red fox, which resonates with the fire element, has actually reached the true spirit level. If I kept feeding Kai Fei with fire attribute heaven and earth treasures, would I be able to make her evolve to the level of the nine-tailed red fox? Just as I was thinking about it, a strange wave suddenly came from the blue ring in my hand. Has the alienation of the Ghost King been completed? Still talking about the guy deliberately at this time. Want to show off, if I remember correctly, before absorbing that ghostly ghost. Ghost King seems to kill monsters and devour ghosts. Has been promoted to LV.17. If you devour that weird black chi this time, and you can advance to the silver rank, maybe you can really install it once. Was thinking. The tremor was stronger than ever before. Lin Lele didn't stand still and fell directly to the ground. Maybe because of nervousness, the eyes of this cute little loli have gradually become wet, as if tears are coming in the next second. I saw that the large amount of lava that was originally scattered around it gradually flowed against the gravity and flowed to the side of the fragmented lava giant fragment. Countless lava wrapped around the pieces that had lost their vitality, splicing and wrapping them. In the end, the remaining lava combined with the core that had been shattered, emitting a scorching red light again. With endless resentment and a violent roar, the lava giant who had already died completely stood up again. Roar. With this deafening roar, the dead lava giant smashed the lava cave with one punch, reached into it and pulled out a huge lava hammer. Silver rank LV.24 The lava armor giant of resentment. Introduction. The residual ethnic grievance in his heart made it stand up again. Smash the invading foe by swinging the lava hammer in your hand. Characteristic. Lava armor defense increased by 100%. Characteristics. Resentment increases the attack power of specific units by 30%. Attributes. Strength, 55. Agility, 15. Mental strength, 0. Covered by resentment, not affected by any mental intervention skills. Read the information on this lava-armored giant. Lin Yan felt even more despair in her heart. She was originally the same bronze rank as ordinary lava giants. Her psychic blade can shatter its lava core. But now, after being promoted to the silver rank, its defense has been directly increased by 100%. In this way, the power of the mind power blade is not enough to smash the core. But that's nothing. What makes Lin Yan most desperate is that the man named Resentful Lava Armor Giant who is immune to mental intervention skills. As a spiritual teacher, her thoughts interfere, but she has always been proud of her trump card. But now, this trump card is invalid. What is she going to use to face this silver-level boss? Looking at the giant in lava armor who was waving a huge lava hammer and striding forward, Lin Yan gritted her teeth sharply. Let's try to persevere first. This copy of the mutation, people outside should be able to perceive, maybe there will be support at that time. Until then, don't die. I try to attract firepower, you take my sister to avoid. With that said, Lin Yan was about to step forward to attract the attention of the lava armor giant and turn the danger to herself. But before she leaves, a shadowy figure suddenly came to her. She looked at Kai Fei who suddenly stood in front of her. Lin Yan was stunned for a moment. What does it mean? Does she want to deal with that lava armor giant? Before entering the copy, Chen Yuan once said that Kai Fei was his girlfriend. Lin Yan naturally classified Kai Fei, Chen Yuan, and Lin Lele into the same rank, thinking that they were all professionals of the black iron rank. But after thinking about it, I seem to have never understood Kai Fei's strength. There was a faint conjecture in my heart, and an appraisal technique was lost. Unable to check, Lin Yan's eyes twitched suddenly. What this means, she knows very well. This only happens when the rank is higher than her. This means that Kai Fei, who was regarded as a black iron rank by herself. In fact, it is a silver rank that is much stronger than himself. Lin Yan swallowed, looking at the calm Kai Fei. suddenly realized that Kai Fei never seemed to say that she was weak. At that time, Chen Yuan was the only one who said to ask her to bring a copy of Lying Down. A bitter smile appeared, but the bottom of my heart was still a sigh of relief. With silver-level powerhouses there, at least there should be no danger to life. And many more. If Chen Yuan's girlfriend is a silver-level powerhouse, so how can the strength be weak if it can be favored by the silver-level powerhouse? Lin Yan was taken aback and threw an identification technique at Chen Yuan again. Black Iron Rank LV.6 Wizard. Identification results. It made Lin Yan feel a little funny about her guess. It seems that he was carried away by Kai Fei's strength. Chen Yuan is obviously a high school senior who awakened with his sister. The profession is still a wizard who can reach LV.6 in just 3 days. It is estimated that Kai Fei took him to the brush level. Otherwise, the wizard is still very weak in the early stage. How can it be possible to level up to LV.6 alone? By the way, everything makes sense. When I met 2 people outside the copy at that time. She should know. A Black Iron Rank professional. If there is no other person with a brush, how can it be possible to come to the copy of the bronze level? Sister Lin Lele was able to come to Loyan Island because she brought her own. It seems that this is the dove occupying the magpie's nest, and the class has made an axe. Lin Yan shook her head with a wry smile, and felt ashamed for her big talk that she would take the 2 to lie down. But he didn't notice that Chen Yuan was distracted at this time. The third guide task for novice wizards, step-by-step challenge. A qualified wizard should be full of cards and be ready for higher order challenges at any time. Reward. A random golden weapon. A system that has not released tasks for a long time. The quest was re-released after the appearance of the lava-armored giant of resentment. The reward is still a golden weapon. Chen Yuan's breathing suddenly became rapid. If this piece of gold has inlaid holes, that means, even that golden gem, Medusa's gaze. You can use it yourself. Taking a deep breath, he suppressed the ecstasy in his heart. Chen Yuan stepped forward and pulled Kai Fei behind him. Under the bewildered gazes of Lin Yan, Lin Lele and Kai Fei, the corners of his mouth gradually smeared a dangerous arc. I'll kill this guy, Chen Yuan says. This hidden boss of silver rank, let him kill. After hearing this, the 3 girls, Kai Fei, Lin Yan, and Lin Lele, had different reactions. Kai Fei, who had seen the eye of true sight once, flashed a splendid splendor in her red eyes. The confident tone of the boy reminded her of the oath to climb to the top of the world. In this case, then I really want to see if your strength is worthy of your ambition. Single quote. The contract between the 2 was, after all, signed through disgraceful means. Although Kai Fei was shocked by Chen Yuan's mystery, she had never seen his strength. The big deal, when you fail, I will take another shot. Single quote. With such thoughts, Kai Fei silently stepped aside. To the opposite, Lin Yan and Lin Lele are 2 people. I don't know why Chen Yuan would say such a thing at all. Especially Lin Yan. She has determined that Chen Yuan is still only a professional of the Black Iron rank. He is also a sorcerer who is called a weak hidden profession. What did he use to deal with the hidden boss that made him feel so overwhelmed? Chen Yuan, now is not the time to be reluctant. I know you woke up with my sister 3 days ago. The strength of this boss is far beyond your imagination. The pale Lin Yan warned seriously and earnestly. In her opinion, Chen Yuan is her sister's friend after all. If it is because of reckless underestimate the enemy's death, it is not worth it. Sister, you stop Chen Yuan. Lin Lele looked at Chen Yuan and didn't listen at all. He was still walking towards the huge lava-armored giant, and he was so anxious. Lin Yan nodded heavily. He was about to stop Chen Yuan through his telekinesis. Unexpectedly, it was stopped by Kai Fei's voice. It's okay, let him try it. Hearing this, Lin Yan looked at Kai Fei in surprise. Kai Fei is a silver rank, so she must know how powerful the silver rank is. Her heart was so big that she dared to let her boyfriend, a Black Iron rank wizard, face a silver rank lava armor giant. Unusual. These 2 are not normal. Sister Fei, no way, this is very dangerous. Lin Lele looked at the giant lava armor that was getting closer and closer, with a cute little face that was about to cry. However, Kai Fei remained indifferent and just kept her eyes fixed on Chen Yuan. Once Chen Yuan is really just trying to be brave, she will definitely do it right away. In this case, naturally, Lin Yan couldn't force her to take action. After all, in the final analysis, there is no relationship between her and Chen Yuan. He had no choice but to withdraw his motivation and look at Chen Yuan's figure with his back to everyone. I hope you can really bring miracles. Single quote. Every time he took a step closer to him, the giant in lava armor brought a burst of ground tremors. Chen Yuan knew deeply that this would be the strongest opponent he had ever encountered so far. Only, since he has already made an oath to be the man who stands on the top of the world. Well, if it's just a mediocre level of invincibility, what about climbing the highest peaks? To know, overstep combat. But it has always been a sign of the protagonist's halo. Chen Yuan's right hand was raised. On the middle finger. That faint blue ring. The strange blue light started to flash. Jia, with a roar enough to pierce the soul. A huge body like a baby elephant suddenly appeared. I saw the Ghost King who was originally all gray. The terrifying black ghost gas is mixed in the body. The breath that erupted from the body has already reached the strength of the silver rank. Behind Chen Yuan, look at the huge ghost that suddenly appeared. Whether it is Lin Yan or Lin Lele, they all opened their mouths in shock. This is a silver-level soul-class beast. Chen Yuan, a black iron rank wizard, was able to subdue a silver-ranked ghost. In Lin Yan's beautiful eyes, a deep shock flashed. Is this your trump card? Single quote. A silver-ranked beast. Single quote. No wonder you dare to face the hidden boss. Lin Lele was even more shocked to the point of being a little messy. Looking down at the flame rabbit in his arms, he looked up at the Ghost King like a small elephant. For a while, I couldn't tell who was the real Beastmaster. Even Kai Fei, in those red pupils, flashed a hint of surprise. She could naturally see that the ghostly spirit on the Ghost King's body was exactly the same as the shadow tide that wounded him at the beginning. Perhaps, Chen Yuan let that ghost absorb from him when he was in a coma. No wonder there is confidence. But, in this case, what is the difference between relying on her? A flash of loss flashed in Kai Fei's eyes. But right now, mutation regeneration. I saw Chen Yuan's hand on the body of the alienated Ghost King. The smile on the corner of the mouth never disappeared. Hey, I called you out, but I didn't want you to steal my limelight. Quote. Jia, the evolved Ghost King does not seem to understand Chen Yuan's meaning. Didn't the master call it out to the big guy in front? I didn't wait for the Ghost King to understand. In Chen Yuan's eyes. True eyes open. Mysterious runes are circulating. In the palm of the Ghost King. There are even more complicated and obscure lines that light up. Chen Yuan took a step forward. The spiritual power absorbed from the Ghost King's body is all condensed. With the other hand, the index finger points to the eyebrow. His expression became solemn. In the process of searching for the mysteries of truth, I find reason as the biggest obstacle. Endless chaos brings new knowledge. New knowledge brings new power. With this, I will sacrifice all my sanity. I implore the Lord of Chaos to bring down the apparent punishment. The prayer with some strange rhythm was finished. The space around Chen Yuan seemed to be wriggling. In the next second, the index finger was removed from the eyebrows and pointed at the giant lava armor in front of him. Reason, punishment for sacrifice. After a moment of silence. A violent wave of shock. In some incomprehensible way. It was like a divine punishment from a mysterious existence. It slammed into the chest of the lava-armored giant. Click. There was a sound of lava armor shattering. The lava giant's jaw moved slightly, as if asking what happened just now. But time doesn't give it a chance. The huge body collapsed suddenly. A puff of smoke flew up. Until the dust settles. Chen Yuan's standing figure appeared. There was a dead silence all around. Until the dungeon issues a prompt, the dungeon reward will be settled after 30 seconds. All three were still in an extremely shocked, petrified state. At the moment when the lava armor giant was killed in seconds. Their minds have also become blank. The silver level copy hides the boss. Just die, killed by Chen Yuan in one blow. If they hadn't seen it with their own eyes. It's impossible to believe anyway. A dark iron wizard. It was able to instantly kill a silver rank lava armor giant. Because this is simply not something that people can do. Kai Fei was the first to come back to her senses. Looking at Chen Yuan, who was walking back here, his eyes were complicated. She originally thought that even though Chen Yuan's identity was mysterious, he was still in the growth stage. Even if the strength is stronger than the normal professional, it will definitely not be stronger. After all, there are occupational restrictions placed here. A wizard, still thinking that he will not be able to defy the sky in the early low level. But just now, Chen Yuan's performance has completely refreshed her cognition. She might not be able to pick up the violent wave shock from that terrifying spell of unknown type. Why are you looking at me like that? Compared to the shock of the three, Chen Yuan was much more relaxed. Although the power of the rational sacrifice punishment was indeed beyond his imagination, it was still within the estimated range. After all, the Ghost King has also evolved to the silver rank, and his spiritual power has improved a lot. Sacrifice it as a sacrifice, and the power will naturally increase accordingly. You, really a wizard who just awakened? Lin Yan, who had just recovered from the shock. He looked at Chen Yuan up and down as if looking at a monster. Chen Yuan's performance has completely subverted her cognition. This shock cannot be described in words at all. If it's a fake, it's an ordinary wizard. Hear what Chen Yuan said. Lin Yan's mouth twitched. Do you call the terrifying evildoer who kills the silver-level boss with a single blow, called mediocre? Then she went to Longhua University for a semester, and she has not reached the silver rank of bronze waist. Isn't it rubbish that it can't be rubbish anymore? Call. Lin Yan took a deep breath. The smile on the corner of his mouth was a bit bitter. When I first entered the dungeon, I also said that I could take you all to lie down in the dungeon. As a result, one of you is a silver-ranked powerhouse, and the other is a black iron-ranked person, but he can kill a silver-ranked boss in one hit. Ganqing was the one who got the axe in my class. That won't happen. Chen Yuan shook his head. Sincere eyes and sincere tone. I really wanted to lie down at that time, but who knew that a hidden boss would suddenly appear? Lin Yan almost wanted to spit out a mouthful of old blood after hearing this. Does this mean that if there is no such hidden boss, she will always be embarrassed? After all, she was also the top 50 seeded player in the province back then. When did she lose face like this? Correct, Lin Yan suddenly realized. With Chen Yuan's current strength, there is absolutely no problem in hitting the provincial champion. At that time, once there are more people who know his strength, Longsha's top universities will definitely break their heads because of him. So, why don't you invite him to join Longhua Academy now? Thinking of this, while the dungeon had not yet been settled, Lin Yan hurriedly asked. Chen Yuan, you will have the big exam in 3 days, right? With your strength, you will definitely be a strong candidate for the provincial champion. Excuse me, do you have a favorite school now? Favorite school? Chen Yuan thought for a while. He is indeed preparing to be a blockbuster in the big exam. But at that time, I really didn't think about which college to choose. Now Longxia has 2 top universities and 10 high-level universities. With his current strength, according to what Lin Yan said, he could hit the provincial champion. There is definitely no problem with the 2 top universities, as for which one to choose. Seemingly seeing Chen Yuan's hesitation, Lin Yan immediately recommended herself. If you haven't made up your mind yet, you can choose our Longhua University. Our Longhua University has a profound heritage. Don't look at me as one of the top 50 people in the province who went to Longhua University, so you think Longhua University is not good enough. Actually, our school only recruits the top 10 students in the province every year. I was specially recruited because of the particularity of my occupation. Longhua University in Lin Yan's mouth is one of the 2 top universities in Longxia. The other is the Imperial Capital Academy. Between the 2 colleges, there are equals to each other. For a while, Chen Yuan really couldn't give an answer. Thank you for the invitation from Sister Lin Yan, but we'll talk about these things later. The copy will be settled soon. It's okay, this kind of thing should have been carefully considered. This topic is temporarily closed, and the dungeon settlement begins. Dungeon settlement. Ordinary boss killer. Lin Yan. Reward. A random bronze, some experience. Hidden boss killer. Chen Yuan. Reward. A random piece of silverware, some experience. 10 minutes ago. Loyan Island, outside the dungeon. Several figures fell instantly. They all exude an extremely powerful breath, attracting the attention of countless people. If there are students from Hangzhou No. 2 middle school here, they will recognize it immediately. The person standing on the far left is none other than the silver-level swordsman master who presided over the awakening ceremony at that time, Zhang Tian. The rest of the people are also silver-level powerhouses at the top of Hangzhou city. Standing in the middle, the breath is stronger than the others. This person is impressively the current mayor of Hangzhou. Gold rank powerhouse, Zhao Zhangguo. At this time, the faces of several people are obviously not very good looking. One of them spoke heavily. This Loyan Island copy has been stable for so long, why is it suddenly advanced? Ignore the man's words. Zhao Zhangguo just looked at the entrance of the copy, and frowned. Although he didn't speak, it was just that momentum and majesty. Let the person in charge of the management of Loyan Island standing beside him in a hurry, dripping with cold sweat. Give me the list of the last entry into the dungeon. The leader spoke, and the person in charge of the copy quickly handed over the list. Zhao Zhangguo glanced down and paused at one of the names. Lin Yan. This name seems a bit familiar. Suddenly, Zhao Zhangguo's eyes tightened and his face sank. Isn't this the student who was specially recruited by Longhua University in our city last year? She is also in the copy. Hear what Zhao Zhangguo said. The rest of the people were also stunned. They all have an impression of the name Lin Yan. You must know that in the last session, only 4 students were admitted to the 2 top universities in Hangzhou. Among them, the most famous is naturally the element mage Ji Yu Qingwan. I heard that she is now level 27, close to turning 3. Besides Ji Yu Qingwan, it was Lin Yan. This is because Lin Yan's original big test scores were not enough to enter Longhua University. However, due to the particularity of the profession of spiritual teacher, he was specially recruited to enter, which left a deep impression on everyone. At this time, when they heard that she was also in the copy, the hearts of several people were immediately raised. This is their top talent in Hangzhou. If something happened to her, it would be Hangzhou City, and it would be a great loss to the country. Zhao Zhangguo frowned, took out his mobile phone, and made a call. Soon, the call is connected. Hey, Lao Yan, I have something to ask you. What is Lin Yan's strength now? Bronze rank peak. The old Yan mentioned by Zhao Zhangguo, whose full name is Yan Gui, is Lin Yan's tutor at Longhua University. At this time, when he received a call from Zhao Zhangguo, he instinctively felt that something was not right, and shouted in a loud voice. Old Zhao, tell me the truth, has something happened to Xiaoyan? Zhao Zhangguo was silent for a while, and finally informed Yan Gui of the matter. Dungeon upgrade. What are you doing? Don't you have points for this thing before? Yan Gui was notoriously violent and protective at Longhua University. At this time, I heard Zhao Zhangguo say that Lin Yan's dungeon was promoted to the silver rank, and his precious student was in danger, and his blood pressure suddenly rose. Zhao Zhangguo said helplessly, Lao Yan, don't worry, this copy has been running normally for more than 20 years. Who knew there was a hidden boss? It's no use arguing with me here. The top priority now is to force the copy to open and rescue Lin Yan. The secret formation master of the Lubin Union will be here soon. I asked, it only takes about 10 minutes to open. Your bronze rank can last for 10 minutes in the hands of the silver rank. Let me tell you, the surnamed Zhao. I'll rush over now. If something happens to my precious student, I'm not finished with you. Snapped. The opposite Yan Gui directly hung up the phone. Zhao Zhangguo felt very uncomfortable, but he had no choice but to instruct the secret formation master who had just arrived at the scene to forcibly open the dungeon. 5 minutes passed. Zhao Zhangguo's forehead also gradually dripped with sweat. To be honest, as a gold rank professional, he clearly knows how big the gap is between the silver rank and the bronze rank. To be honest, it's a bit too reluctant to let a bronze-level professional stand in front of a silver-level boss for 10 minutes. City Chief. A sudden roar. Let Zhao Zhangguo suddenly come back to his senses. Look at the head of the city. The copy seems to have been cleared. The man pointed to the entrance of the copy, the status indicator stone that was flashing. I saw bursts of soft white light emitting from it. This is the sign that the dungeon is cleared and the reward settlement is in progress. What's going on? For a while, Zhao Zhengguo still hadn't recovered. What he originally thought was to forcefully open the copy and rescue the people inside. As a result, now you told him that there is no need to force it to open, the dungeon has been cleared. What a joke. This is a copy of being promoted to the silver rank. A bronze rank professional can clear it. Zhao Zhengguo couldn't believe it. But, what if Lin Yan just happened to complete the breakthrough in the dungeon? If she just broke through to the silver rank, wouldn't she have the possibility of clearing the dungeon? You know, she is a genius who was specially recruited by Longhua University. For a genius, anything is possible. Thinking of this, Zhao Zhengguo waved his hand and stopped the secret formation master who was cracking the entrance. Just at this moment, a wave of void came. Immediately afterwards, an old man with a rosacea came out of the void cursing. The person here is none other than Lin Yan's mentor, Yan Gui, a professor at Longhua University. Because he was eager to save his disciples, he directly used the professor's privilege and used the teleportation array of Longhua University to come to Hangzhou. This kind of ultra-long distance teleportation array, the energy consumed by one use is about 2 million Longxia coins. Although professors have privileges, they only have the privilege of reducing fees by 50%. This shows how anxious Yan Gui is. What about the surname Zhao? Let me tell you, if something happens to my precious student, I'm not finished with you. Yan Gui angrily searched for Zhao Zhengguo's figure. Until he saw Zhao Zhengguo walking towards him with a smile. Old Yan, congratulations, congratulations, I congratulate your uncle. Yan Gui almost spat at Zhao Zhengguo's face without a mouthful of old phlegm. His precious student is still alive and dead in the copy. What kind of plane is Zhao Zhengguo doing? Congratulations. Old Yan, don't worry, just look at the dungeon status steal. Zhao Zhengguo was scolded by Yan Gui, and he was not annoyed, and happily pointed to the steel not far away. Yan Gui looked in the direction Zhao Zhengguo pointed. Seeing that the state steel was emitting bursts of soft white light, he was stunned. After a long time, he came back to his senses, and his eyes suddenly lit up. My precious student has broken through the silver rank. Zhao Zhengguo nodded with a smile. Otherwise, why would I say congratulations to you? Besides Lin Yan breaking through the silver rank, is there any other way to clear the dungeon? Let me see, this Lin Yan's potential is estimated to be no worse than that of Ji Yu Qingwan. If you cultivate it well, you may not be able to compete with him. Hearing this, Yan Gui pouted. You said that girl, she didn't come to our Longhua at that time, it was a mistake to go to the Imperial Capital Academy. What can the old pedants of the Imperial Capital Academy teach? I have long seen that Xiaoyan's talent is not weaker than her. When the two were talking, there was a sudden fluctuation in space before the copy. The four figures of Chen Yuan and his party appeared in front of everyone. Just after the dungeon came out, I saw such a circle of people around. Chen Yuan was stunned for a moment, but quickly realized that these people should have been attracted by the advanced copy. Many of them have a strong aura fluctuation. The eye of true sight opens. Silver rank LV.25 Ice Mage. Silver rank LV.23 Berserker. Silver rank LV.21 Master of Kendo. Isn't this the old man who presided over the transfer ceremony at the school that day? At that time, Chen Yuan had just awakened, and felt that the silver rank was already a very powerful existence. But looking at it now, it's the same. His eyes continued to scan the crowd. Gold rank LV.34 Knight of Retribution. And a gold-ranked powerhouse. Chen Yuan frowned. I always feel that this person seems a little familiar. I remembered. I have seen it on the news that the head of Hangzhou City seems to be called Zhao Zhengguo. The old Lees-nosed man beside him. Golden rank LV.36 Secret Master. Another golden stage. Without waiting for Chen Yuan to check the attributes of the two people carefully. The two have already started walking towards this side. Beside him, Lin Yan saw it, and suddenly shouted in surprise. Teacher, why are you here? Lin Yan's teacher. Chen Yuan's eyes fell on the old man with the Lee's nose. In the copy just now, Lin Yan had already said that she was a student of Longhua University. Then the old man of the golden rank should be the professor of Longhua University. You fool, almost scared me to death. Before he got there, Yan Gui's loud voice started to rise, blowing his beard and staring. It really made the teacher worry. You are also here, the mayor. I've caused you trouble. Lin Yan had met Zhao Zhengguo when the results of the last big exam were announced. Seeing that he was here, I knew that the matter of advanced copy had probably caused quite a stir. What's the trouble? It's clearly because they didn't do a good job. If you didn't have an accident, I'd be sure to scold him to death. Yan Gui snorted coldly, although his face was a little slow, but his tone was not at all let down. Zhao Zhengguo had a good temper, but he didn't care, he just said with a smile. It is true that our work was not done well. Fortunately, classmate Lin Yan, you broke through to the silver level in danger. Otherwise, if a genius like you died in the dungeon, I would be Long Shaw's great sinner. Zhao Shishou is joking. Wait. Lin Yan suddenly realized that there was something wrong with Zhao Zhengguo's words. Hastily explained. I haven't advanced to the silver level yet, Zhao Shishou, you are mistaken. As soon as she said this, everyone present was stunned, including her mentor Yan Gui. The rosacea-nosed old man raised his brows. An identification technique was thrown over. Bronze rank LV.19 spiritual teacher. The identification results made him dumbfounded. Lin Yan didn't get promoted to the silver rank. Who killed the silver level hidden boss in the dungeon? Yan Gui has a very clear understanding of Lin Yan's strength. If she didn't break through the silver rank, she could at best deal with the hidden boss. Even the deal can only last for a few minutes, let alone beheading the boss. But the status steal of the dungeon will not deceive people, and they have indeed been sent out of the dungeon. Could it be that there is something wrong with the copy? Not only Yan Gui, Zhao Zhengguo, Zhang Tian, and a group of silver-level powerhouses present. Not knowing why, they looked at Lin Yan with a bewildered face. Besides her, who else could possibly clear the silver-level dungeon? Face the doubts of the crowd. Lin Yan didn't confuse them for too long. After she coughed lightly, she slowly walked to Chen Yuan's side. A mysterious smile appeared on his face. That. Clear the dungeon, kill the person who hides the boss, it's actually him. Quote. Everyone present was silent. Chen Yuan did not close his personal information. So they can easily get Chen Yuan's occupation level information. Black Iron rank LV.8 wizard. A Dark Iron wizard. Can you clear the silver level dungeon and kill the hidden boss? It's not that they don't want to believe it, it's mainly because it's too outrageous. Of several people, Zhang Tian suddenly stood up. Weird looking. Are you the student of No. 2 middle school who awakened to the wizarding profession? If I remember correctly, you just woke up 3 days ago, right? Wow, this statement came out. The crowd roared again. Just woke up 3 days ago. Dark irons, wizards. Combine these elements. No matter how you look at it, it's absolutely impossible. Does it have the strength to kill the hidden boss of the silver rank? I testify. Aside, Lin Lele suddenly raised his hand. The cute little face is full of determination. That hidden boss was killed by Chen Yuan. It's still a one-shot kill. This time, everyone was even more silent. First, Lin Yan insisted that it was the hidden boss that Chen Yuan killed. Now, Lin Lele came out to testify again. What does this make them do? It can't be these two sisters who are making fun of them, right? Do they have the guts? In a long silence, Zhao Zhengguo, as the head of the city, took the lead in speaking. Dungeon clearances are all recorded, just take a look at the records and you'll be able to confirm. Speaking of this, he paused, and glanced at Chen Yuan beside him with some uncertainty. If this is true, this year's provincial champion is estimated to be in our city. Everyone knows what this means. If Chen Yuan really has the ability to kill the hidden boss in the Black Iron rank, kill the silver rank, then the provincial champion is completely a handy thing for him. The record of dungeon clearance will not be generated until about half an hour, so we'll just wait a little. Before Zhao Zhengguo finished speaking, he was suddenly interrupted by Chen Yuan. Mayor, I have a request. Classmate Chen, if you have something to say, it's fine. Being interrupted, Zhao Zhengguo was not at all annoyed. After all, if what Lin Yan said was true, it means that Chen Yuan will be a super evildoer surpassing Ji Yu Qingwan. At that time, let alone interrupting him, even in a few years, it will be easy to replace him as the city head. Actually, it's nothing. It's just too long to wait for half an hour, Why don't you wait first and I'll refresh the dungeon again? Chen Yuan's idea is simple. Re-brush the copy to see if you can brush out the fire spirit snake. This half hour is enough for him to brush once or twice. Hearing this, everyone present. Chapter 31. In this half hour, brush a copy again. You know, this copy has already completed the advanced stage. It means that it has completely changed from a bronze level copy to a silver level copy. The difficulty has gone up several grades in a straight line. If Chen Yuan can really brush this copy, still need to wait for a copy to record it. That doesn't mean he has that power. Everyone's attention fell on Zhao Zhangguo. That means, he is the head of Hangzhou City, and he has something to say. Zhao Zhangguo glanced at Chen Yuan and asked in a serious tone. Chen Yuan, are you sure you want to do a single copy? You have to know that if you are in danger inside, we will force open the entrance of the copy, which will take 10 minutes. I know. Chen Yuan nodded. Now, he can completely do a single copy of the copy in a real sense. You must know that he still has the golden weapon of system reward that he did not accept. That's good. Open the dungeon in trance, you can go. Get Zhao Zhangguo's order. The replica entrance has reopened. Everyone just watched Chen Yuan walk towards the entrance of the copy. However, halfway through, Chen Yuan suddenly stopped. What's wrong, classmate Chen Yuan? If you feel a little reluctant, you don't need to download a copy first. Zhao Zhangguo thought that Chen Yuan was suddenly repenting and didn't want to brush the copy alone, so he persuaded him out loud. Chen Yuan just shook his head, and then waved at Kai Fei. Then, in full view, Kai Fei stretched lazily. That perfect body curve is exposed. Immediately after, transformed into a red fox. With a slight jump, he jumped onto Chen Yuan's shoulder and fell down safely. One person and one fox disappeared at the entrance of the dungeon teleportation array. Crowd. In. Lin Yan and Lin Lele. Even more like being struck by lightning, he froze in place. You know, when the first copy was downloaded, what Chen Yuan said was that Kai Fei was his girlfriend. Both of them believed it. What happened to the scene just now? Lin Yan felt a little incomprehensible. Lin Lele was even more stunned. Such a beautiful sister, is it a fox? Even Zhao Zhangguo. They were all staring blankly. He turned his head to look at Zhang Tian. Old Zhang, the awakened student Chen Yuan is really a wizard, not a beastmaster. Zhang Tian's mouth twitched. The little girl over there awakened the beastmaster. Hearing this, Zhao Zhangguo nodded, withdrew his gaze, and his expression was serious. It's possible, student Chen Yuan has his own new understanding of wizards. Inside the copy, Chen Yuan killed a few monsters at the initial point. He glanced at Kai Fei, who was lying on his shoulders. You just lie on top of me and sleep. Huh, can't you? There was a little laziness in Kai Fei's long and narrow fox eyes. Anyway, you are so powerful, and you can't use me as a boss with one move. Go and help me search the dungeon to see if there are any traces of the fire spirit snake. This is an essential material for making Blessing of Fire. Call out. Kai Fei instantly jumped off Chen Yuan's shoulder. What are the traces of the fire snake? Tell me. Sure enough, as soon as the matter was related to the Blessing of Fire, Kai Fei became abnormally active. After learning about the traces left by the fire spirit snake, it disappeared instantly. Seeing Kai Fei's figure disappear, Chen Yuan couldn't help but sigh. There is always a way to make women move by themselves. If not, then the excitement is not right. As for what's next, let's see if my luck is good or not. Open the system panel. Ding. The third guide task for novice wizards, step-by-step challenge, complete. Rewards are being distributed. As the system beats sound. In front of Chen Yuan, an intricately textured magic circle lit up. Slowly, the true content of the golden utensil emerged from the magic circle. This is a mask. Best golden rank ruined void mask. Introduce. It was the genius idea of a wizard. Combining with nothingness medium and mask. Able to hide perfectly in nothingness. In a corner that no one can see. I will take your life anytime. Sadly, the experiment seems to have failed, and it is a mutilated work of art. Ability, pseudo, nothingness. It can hide itself in nothingness, and existences at the golden rank and below cannot perceive it, and at the same time, it cannot be selected or harmed. Consumption. 20 mental power, sec. Ability deception spell creates 2 clone illusions in a short period of time, lasting 3 minutes. The illusion clone has 30% of the body's attributes and skill damage. Cooldown time. 72 hours. Mosaic hole left eye empty. The best gold class. And gem set holes. Is this a burst of luck? After reading the equipment introduction, Chen Yuan felt it deeply. Compared to the silverware and blue ring that he obtained last time, he was simply hung up and beaten. From the introduction, although this mask is a defective product after the failure of the experiment, it does not increase the attributes. But the ability it has is already very terrifying. First of all, it is that false nothingness. At the cost of 20 mental power per second. Hide yourself in nothingness. Gold tier and below. Can't even feel the existence. But that's not the most important thing. The most important is, can't be selected, can't be hurt. With Chen Yuan's current mental strength of more than 40 points. Means 2 seconds of invincibility. If it works well. When facing the enemy, you can take advantage of the 2 seconds of invincibility. Dodge the enemy's strongest attack. This is downright horrible. Let's look at the second skill, Deception Spell. Can create 2 phantom clones that last for 3 minutes. The phantom clone inherits 30% of the attributes and skill damage of the main body. The terrifyingness of this skill should be felt without depicting it. Even the cooling time is a full 72 hours. There is no way to hide the perversion of this skill. Powerful to the point of heinous ability. Chen Yuan couldn't help but think. If this mask was a complete body, how terrifying would it be? The original book of the world. World Original, Special Equipment, Nothingness Series. Void Mask. Check the mental power required, 500. Chen Yuan. Just looking at it, you need a full 500 mental power. From this, it can be speculated that the complete Void Mask is estimated to be unimaginably strong. Turn off World Origins. Take out the Medusa's Gaze from the personal warehouse. This ruined Void Mask has an inlaid hole in the left eye, which can be inlaid with gems. For the right eye, there is no inlaid hole, which is just perfect for the eye of true vision. After inserting Medusa's Gaze on broken Void Mask, this incomparably mysterious mask has a more captivating charm. Originally, the dilapidated mask that had no attributes increased, but because of the Medusa gem, it also had attribute bonuses. Exquisite gold rank ruined Void Mask inlaid. Attributes: Spirit plus 20, Agility plus 10, Strength plus 10. Chen Yuan equips it. Attribute bonuses are applied immediately. When the mask ability or Medusa gem is not activated, the Void Mask can be automatically hidden, and from the outside, there is no change. But even so, the mysterious smell on Chen Yuan's body became stronger and stronger. Now I have reached LV.8, and my spiritual power has broken through the 60-point mark, even comparable to an ordinary gold-level mage. Strength and agility attributes are also close to the level of the silver-level warrior profession. My black iron rank is really a bit scary. Feel the plentiful spiritual power and soaring strength and agility. Even Chen Yuan himself couldn't help but sigh. Now that this is the case, let alone the provincial champion. How do you feel? Even Longshaw's champion is likely to win. This feeling did not last long. It is important to find the fire spirit snake first. After all, this is related to the making of the secret medicine, Blessing of Fire. And whether he can learn more powerful fire element spells. Before approaching the lava cave where the hidden boss is located, Chen Yuan reunited with Kai Fei, who returned from the search without results. Along the way, Chen Yuan killed many ordinary monsters, but found no trace of the fire snake. As for Kai Fei, she searched almost every corner of the dungeon, but found nothing. It seems that there are 2 more dungeons to be done. Sighed, Chen Yuan pulled the Ghost King out of the Yulin ring again. Since the last time this guy was drained of his mental power by Chen Yuan, he used Sacrifice of Sanity. He has been groggily recovering his spiritual power in the blue ring. Pulled out now, still stupefied. Looking at Chen Yuan, a question mark appeared on his blurred face. Jia, Chen Yuan didn't have time to take a good look at the changes of the Ghost King last time. This time, the time is not in time. Open the eyes of true vision and sweep. Silver rank LV21 Nether Soul. Introduction: it evolved from the Ghost King, who devoured the ghost energy of the ghost, and has the strange ability to erode flesh and absorb vitality. Characteristics: soul, spirit, body, physical damage reduction by 90%. Skill: Fear Scream, it can affect people's mind and cause confusion. Skill: Ghost Bound New, it can entangle the opponent with ghost energy, and absorb various attributes of the opponent, including but not limited to vitality and spiritual power, 60% of which can be fed back to the master. Unexpectedly, in addition to the equal level evolution, the skills of the Ghost King have also been updated. The skill called Ghost Shadow Binding can now absorb the attributes of enemies entangled in ghostly ghosts. It can also be fed back to him. In battle, this is equivalent to having a buff halo of, the enemy is weaker, I am stronger. You guy, you have become quite powerful. Jia. Get a compliment from Chen Yuan. The Ghost King screamed excitedly. Still, it didn't wait for it to continue to be happy. Chen Yuan had 4 more low-level mental tonics in his hands. Without blinking, he directly inserted the low-level spiritual tonic into the Ghost King's body. The mental power that had not yet recovered was instantly refilled. Then, it was drained again. Punishment of sanity sacrifice is used again. The target is the giant lava armor wielding a huge lava hammer not far away. Outside the copy, Zhao Zhengguo and several people are waiting for the record of the copy status monument to be refreshed. You said, that little guy can really kill the hidden boss of the silver rank at the black iron rank. Who knows, I always feel like it's unlikely, but I can't tell. I remember that Ji Yu Qingwan from the last session, after awakening to become an elemental mage, at the black iron rank, at most, he was an ordinary boss who killed the peak of the bronze rank, right? There are talented people in Zhongshan, maybe there is a genius who is more evil than Ji Yu Qingwan, it is also possible. But the problem is that Ji Yu Qingwan's awakened profession is an elemental mage. He is born with a variety of elemental affinity, and can learn elemental spells at a higher level. Chen Yuan awakened a wizard. Do you think the two professions are comparable? Quote. Several high-level silver-level powerhouses in Hangzhou have talked a lot. Until now, they have not reached a consensus on the specific strength of Chen Yuan. Some people claim that Chen Yuan may be the evildoer who can kill the silver-level boss on the black iron rank, while others think that there must be something else hidden. As for Zhao Zhengguo, he remained silent and did not express his views. Yan Gui even pulled Lin Yan and Lin Lele to a corner, not knowing what to ask. Compared with these high-level executives in Hangzhou, Yan Gui's identity is much more special. He is a professor at Longhua University. If Chen Yuan really has that kind of strength, what he has to do is to do his best to pull Chen Yuan to Longhua University. Another minute passed. Calm is broken. Someone suddenly exclaimed. Look, the dungeon teleportation array is on. Chen Yuan seems to have cleared the dungeon again. This statement came out. Everyone's eyes suddenly turned to the copy teleportation array. The status stone has not been refreshed, but if Chen Yuan really re-clears the dungeon, then what records are there to look at? It shows the strength of others here. It's his mother-in-law's monster. It didn't take long, under the gaze of everyone holding their breaths. Chen Yuan's figure slowly appeared in front of the teleportation formation. Re-cleared the dungeon intact. It even took less than half an hour. This makes everyone present. They fell into a dead silence. Because, for them, this undoubtedly witnessed the birth of a miracle. A wizard, at the black iron rank, can clear the silver rank dungeon and kill the hidden boss of the silver rank, a real miracle. In the shock of the crowd, Zhao Zhengguo was the first to come back to his senses. A cheerful smile appeared on his face. It seems that this year's provincial champion is really going to be in our Hangzhou city. As soon as Zhao Zhengguo said this, he came out. No one objected. Even the person who was questioning Chen Yuan's strength just now. At this time, he also obediently shut his mouth. Able to clear the silver-level dungeon by one person. This is already the best comment on Chen Yuan's true strength. Any other words would seem pale and powerless at this time. I'll just say it. Seeing the people who were still talking about it just now, they all collapsed. Lin Lele put his hands on his hips with a proud look on his face. It's said that Chen Yuan can kill the boss in one blow, but you still don't believe it. With that look, even Chen Yuan, who was walking towards him, couldn't help but laugh when he saw it. Yan Gui, who originally pulled Lin Yan to the corner to ask something, also hurriedly trotted over when Chen Yuan came back. It is no exaggeration to say that the rosacea-nosed old man looked at Chen Yuan like a starving ghost who had been hungry for more than 10 days and saw a fragrant steamed bun. If it wasn't for Lin Yan's pulling, it is estimated that he would be able to pounce directly. "Hey, young man, my name is Yan Gui, a professor at Longhua University." "What? I didn't believe you for the first time just now." "It's my fault. I apologize to you." Having said that, the old man bowed directly to Chen Yuan. This scene shocked everyone who didn't know Yan Gui very well. Only Zhao Zhengguo and Lin Yan, who knew Yan Gui's character, knew that the old man had always been outspoken and quick-witted, and what to do. Even if he is a professor at Longhua University, as long as he makes a mistake and apologizes to a high school student, it is simply too common. "Professor Yan is polite." Chen Yuan smiled nonchalantly. Didn't take it to heart at all. He deeply understands a truth. Actions are often louder than words. Single quote. Before proving his strength, let these people believe that they are a professional of the black iron rank. A hidden boss capable of beheading the silver rank. To be honest, it really embarrassed them. "Hey, boy, don't hold grudges. To tell the truth, I'm still the head of Longhua University's admissions team in Jiangsu and Zhejiang provinces this year. How about it? Are you interested in choosing our Longhua University?" The old man Yan Gui just couldn't stand his temper. Before he said a few words, he directly exposed his purpose. Lin Yan on the side smiled at Chen Yuan a little embarrassedly. "Sorry, I already told the teacher that you don't think about these issues for the time being, but my teacher is just like that and can't help it." Chen Yuan shook his head slightly. At that time, he told Lin Yan that he would not consider these issues for the time being. It was because Lin Yan was only a student of Longhua University. Her invitation, in Chen Yuan's case, can be regarded as a reference, but it has no effect. But the old man named Yan Gui in front of him was different. He is a professor at Longhua University and the head of the admissions team in Jiangsu and Zhejiang provinces. This identity can be discussed. "Professor Yan, if I join Longhua University, what special treatment can I get?" "That's a must. Don't say that you are the champion of the province, even Shaoyan has obtained quite good resources." And many more. Chen Yuan suddenly interrupted Yan Gui's words. A smile appeared on his face that made everyone in the room puzzled. "What I'm saying is, if I become the #1 player in the country, under this precondition, what kind of preferential treatment can I get if I choose to join Longhua University instead of Imperial Capital University?" Wow, just this sentence. In an instant, everyone present was stunned. "I'm not negotiating conditions with you as a provincial champion. I am in the identity of the national champion. Negotiate terms with you. This is, what confidence. How insolent, what a high-spirited. That's the national champion, even the last one. That Ji Yu Qingwan, who is known as a genius who has never been born in 100 years. A terrifying genius who can learn to master 3-turn elemental spells in 1 turn. It's just a provincial champion. Chen Yuan has that confidence. Become the champion of Longxia in this year's national exam." But everyone was shocked and surprised at Chen Yuan's self-confidence. "But I'm also thinking about the possibility of this becoming a reality. To know, Ji Yu Qingwan has no way to just brush the silver rank copy at the black iron rank. But now, in full view, Chen Yuan did it. This means, the current Chen Yuan is stronger than Ji Yu Qingwan who took the big test at that time. Ji Yu Qingwan can become the champion of the province, why can't Chen Yuan become the champion of the entire Longxia? Good guy. Crazy enough." Yan Gui's eyes did not hide his admiration for Chen Yuan. "Old man, I will put my words here. If you really become the champion of Longxia in this year's big exam, I, Longhua University, will give you the top growth resources. Equipped with the most powerful mentors. All rare dungeons and epic secret realms controlled by Longhua Academy are open to you unconditionally." Hearing this, everyone present took a deep breath. This is Yan Gui directly promising Chen Yuan the most proud heritage of a top university. A terrifying team of mentors, outrageous resources, and rare dungeons that make countless people covet. These are all open to Chen Yuan unconditionally. What an honor and favor it is. Facing the conditions given by Yan Gui, If it were someone else, he might have agreed without even thinking about it. But Chen Yuan was not carried away. I saw that he still kept a calm smile. Such rich conditions can indeed express the goodwill of Longhua University. It's just, Professor Yan, can you make a decision? Do you need to discuss it with the rest of the senior management of your school? After saying this, not just the people around you. Even Yan Gui himself was stunned for a moment. After he reacted, his big wine Lees twitched his nose and raised his brows. Good boy, look down on the old man, don't you? Wait for me. He was muttering something by himself, as if he had suffered a lot of grievances. Old man Yan took out his cell phone and made a call. Hey, let me tell you something. I'm here in Hangzhou, and there's a little boy who feels like this year's Longxia champion. I told him that if he doesn't go to Imperial University and comes to our Longhua, we will. How is it? Can you say something? Okay, got it. Snapped. Yan Gui hung up the phone. Looking back at Chen Yuan, he patted his chest to make sure that he had a ticket. I called the principal just now, and he said that if you can really become Longxia's champion, those conditions will definitely count. Seeing Chen Yuan seems to be wondering a bit, Yan Guishao glanced at the side and pulled Zhao Zhengguo over. Old Zhao, tell him, can you believe what I say? Zhao Zhengguo coughed awkwardly and cleared his throat. Chen Yuan, you can rest assured that the president of Longhua University is Professor Yan's brother. There is absolutely no problem with what he promised you. The brother of the president of Longhua University. Chen Yuan was a little surprised. I didn't expect the old man in front of him to have such a big background. Looking at Lin Yan's shocked expression, it seems that she didn't know the identity of her mentor before. This sincerity is quite enough. Which university to go to has only one benchmark in Chen Yuan's heart. That is the abundance of resources and the number of rare copies to master. As for the lineup of mentors, it's second. After all, there is World Original Book. Who is qualified to be his mentor? Think about it this way. The two top universities, Longhua University and Didu University, are almost the same. To be honest, I have a good impression of this upright and outgoing old man, and choosing Longhua University is a good idea. After making the decision, Chen Yuan is not the kind of person who is constantly hesitating. Then it's settled. If I really become the champion of Longxia, I will choose Longhua University. Correspondingly, I want the top-level career training resources and unlimited rare dungeon permissions. Absolutely no problem. Yan Gui's eyes lit up. Such a good baby was recruited by him in front of Imperial University. It's worth it for him to come all the way from the imperial capital to Hangzhou. If there is nothing else, I want to continue to brush the copy. Zhao Shisho, Professor Yan, I'm sorry. With that said, Chen Yuan was about to enter the dungeon again. No way, there is such a fire attribute copy near Hangzhou City. Even if he spit it out, he had to brush out the fire spirit snake. Hey, wait a minute. Yan Gui stopped Chen Yuan. He hesitated for a while, but still asked. The dungeon has complete rewards except for the first clearance. If you brush repeatedly, not only will there be no reward for clearing the level, but even the experience of killing monsters will be reduced to 1%. Why don't you change the dungeon to brush? This doubt was actually shared by everyone present. This is Chen Yuan's third time brushing Loyan Island dungeon. If I remember correctly, the high school curriculum contains a limited introduction to the repeated clearance of the copy. In the face of Yan Gui's kind persuasion, Chen Yuan thought for a while. Fire snakes are rare, but it's not the kind of extremely precious spirit. The chance of trying to get lucky by repeatedly brushing the dungeon like this is indeed a bit low. So, can you get yourself a fire snake through Yan Gui and the power of Longhua University? Thinking of this, Chen Yuan casually made up a reason and asked. Professor Yan, can I ask you a favor? Yan Gui was taken aback. You said. I now have a career advancement requirement, and I may need to use the fire spirit snake. I refreshed Loyan Island dungeon repeatedly, just to see if I could refresh a fire spirit snake. If possible, could you please help me pay attention to it? If I can get the fire spirit snake before the big exam, I have a 90% certainty that I will win the Longxia champion. Fire snake. Yan Gui knew this creature. This is a spiritual being composed of pure fire element. Generally, it is only possible to appear in places where the fire element is extremely rich. As for the professional advancement requirements mentioned by Chen Yuan, Yan Gui has no doubts. He knew that Chen Yuan's profession was a wizard. Although everyone knew that the profession of wizard was not strong, no one denied its mystery. This kind of strange career advancement requirement is really possible. It turns out to be like this: I will help you pay attention, and if there is news, I will notify you as soon as possible. Then I'll trouble Professor Yan. After saying thank you, Chen Yuan still entered the dungeon of Loyan Island. Going forward at both ends is more efficient, and you can't pin all your hopes on others. After Chen Yuan entered the copy, after a few words of advice, Yan Gui and Lin Yan set off and returned to the imperial capital. Since the game came to reality hundreds of years ago and the era of professionals arrived, the entire Blue Star area has expanded more than 1,000 times. The area and scale of Longxia Imperial City are naturally countless times larger than before, and it can be regarded as one of the most luxurious cities in the entire world. There is no fire snake in Hangzhou, which does not mean that it cannot be found in the imperial capital. At least, with the network resources and strength of Longhua University, it should not be difficult to find. After Yan Gui left, Lin Yan took Lin Lele home. To be honest, she really didn't think about it. The little sister classmate I met by chance today turned out to be the most popular player in this year's Longxia Champion. Coincidentally, he was also met by his mentor who came to Hangzhou and pulled him to Longhua University. Fate, it is really strange. Only, I didn't even know that the teacher and the principal were brothers. She said how the resource treatment she enjoys is no worse than that of other provincial champions. Dare to feel that my mentor is a relationship account. Sister, when I go back, I will definitely subdue that big lizard. Beside him, Lin Lele suddenly said in a firm tone. Huh, are you provoked? Lin Yan looked at Lin Lily's resolute expression and joked. Humph, no, I want to share a school with my sister. Lin Lele waved a small pink fist, and his eyes were full of longing. Lin Yan suddenly stopped and looked at Lin Lele curiously, as if thinking of something. You shouldn't, like Chen Yuan, right? Ah, you, what are you talking about? I just want to have a school with my sister. Lin Lily's tone suddenly became flustered, his eyes became erratic, he turned his head, and 2 blushes instantly appeared on his little face. But this kind of behavior has obviously betrayed her careful thinking. Looking at her suddenly shy sister, Lin Yan was very calm. Like is like, there is nothing to admit. Chen Yuan is so handsome and incredibly strong. If he was my classmate, I would have taken him down long ago. Hey. You can only talk about it. Lin Lele muttered softly. What did you say? Lin Yan didn't hear clearly. I say, you're not as good looking as big sister Qifei, and you still want to take Chen Yuan, a dream. Lin Lele stuck out her little tongue playfully, made a face at Lin Yan, and ran away. Lin Yan was choked, but she didn't know how to refute for a while. Kai Fei's beauty, even her girl was moved. To be honest, if she is really Chen Yuan's girlfriend, whether it is her or her sister, there should be no chance, right? And many more. I just said it myself. Where do you really want to have a relationship with Chen Yuan? I even thought about it seriously. Lin Yan's face also turned red inexplicably, and her heart pounded like a deer. He shook his head vigorously, tossing the thoughts out of his mind. Don't run, wait for me. On the street, one after the other, the 2 sisters chased after each other with laughter. However, it has a different flavor, attracting passers-by to turn back again and again. Night. Chen Yuan returned home. First simply take a shower. After brushing the dungeon one day, I didn't see the hair of the fire spirit snake, but I was exhausted. Got out of the shower and was about to change clothes. But they saw Kai Fei lying on the sofa, and the 2 just looked at each other. Almost instantly, after screaming, a large blush appeared on Kai Fei's face, and she turned her head immediately. Why don't you wear clothes? This is my house. I have to take a bath and get dressed. Besides, why did you become human? Even if I don't turn into a human body, you have to block me. You don't change, what can a fox understand? You. Buzzing. The cell phone beside him suddenly rang. Chen Yuan was too lazy to argue with Kai Fei. I walked over and got on the phone. Hey, Chen Yuan, Fire Spirit Snake has news. On the other end of the phone, Yan Gui's excited voice came. Really? Chen Yuan's eyes lit up. With the fire spirit snake, you can start making blessing of fire. After I returned to the imperial capital, I used my personal connections to inquire in many ways, and finally got an exact piece of news. A mercenary group caught the fire spirit snake in a certain gold-level dungeon near the imperial capital, and is preparing to take it to the Wankai Yuan for auction. You may not have heard the name Wankai Yuan in Hangzhou. It is one of the largest auction venues in the imperial capital. The auction price of the fire snake is about 2 million Longxia coins. 2 million Longxia coins. Chen Yuan frowned. His original deposit was only hundreds of thousands of Longxia coins. Even adding the 1 million dragon summer coins sent by Zhou Yueling was far from enough. It seems that he heard Chen Yuan's hesitation on the phone, and Yan Gui on the other end said directly, "Hey, don't worry, since you have chosen our Longhua University, then this fire spirit snake will be regarded as an admission gift from me. The auction will be held tomorrow. The day after tomorrow at the latest, I will deliver the fire spirit snake as it is to you, to ensure that you can complete the advanced steps before the big test, so that you can be a blockbuster and win the champion." Then many thanks to Professor Yan. Chen Yuan didn't say much. He chose Longhua University, and the value that he can bring in the future is definitely far more than the 2 million Longxia coins. It's okay, then you rest first and wait for my news tomorrow. Silent all night. The next day, because the fire spirit snake will soon be in the bag, Chen Yuan did not go to the Loyan Island dungeon again. After swiping so many times, to be honest, I really feel sick. However, the brush level still cannot fall. Chen Yuan's current level is LV.8. As long as you upgrade 2 more levels to LV.10, you can complete the first job transfer. The mysterious job transfer scroll was still lying in the personal warehouse and was useless. Chen Yuan is quite looking forward to what new capabilities it will bring to him. After washing up, I went downstairs to eat as usual. Kai Fei ordered 6 rice balls in one go, so shocked that the grandmother at the stall shook her hands. After the meal, Chen Yuan took Kai Fei out of Hangcheng and went to farm monsters farther away. As the level increases, more and more experience is required to level up. Chen Yuan's goal is to be able to upgrade to LV.9 today, which should be accomplished. At the same time, imperial capital, the vast land, magnificent buildings, and magnificent layout. This is the most prosperous city in Longxia, with the most abundant resources and the most powerful professional guards. Yan Gui had prepared a card of 5 million dragon summer coins yesterday and came to the venue of the Wankai Yuan auction early. Generally speaking, professors at Longhua University are special VIPs of Wankai Yuan who can enter the venue in advance and wait for the opening in the VIP room. However, the old man Yan Gui never liked this set, nor did he like high-profile publicity, so he slowly followed the ordinary members and waited outside. After Yan Gui waited for a few minutes, there was a sudden commotion in the crowd. I saw everyone's eyes, all fell on a girl who was walking slowly not far away. The girl's appearance is extremely beautiful, and there is a cold iceberg temperament. She wears the iconic silver-white long gauze school skirt of Imperial College. It sets her off like a fairy in the sky, and her beauty is inexhaustible. But the most interesting thing is the 5 elements floating around her body. The crimson fire spirit, the azure water spirit, the sharp golden spirit, the emerald green wood spirit, and the brown gray earth spirit. The floating spirits of the 5 basic elements surround her, making her look like the saintess favored by the elements of heaven and earth, sacred and out of the world. The identity of this girl is the arrogant daughter of the Imperial City University, Ji Qingwan. Ji Qingwan is here too. What is she going to buy at the master's house? Who knows, but she is really amazing. Such a woman, I don't know which man will be conquered in the end. I think you're thinking too much. An arrogant woman like her only has the ability to conquer men, and it is absolutely impossible for her to be conquered by men. I heard that the provincial champion in Subei province of Imperial College once confessed to her, and became angry after the failure. As a result, he was severely injured by someone's great elemental spell, and he is still lying in the hospital. That's the champion of the province. It's like a heaven's favorite. But in front of Ji Qingwan, it's still no different from ordinary people. I can only say that there is also a gap between geniuses, and the gap seems to be no smaller than the gap between us and the genius. There was a lot of discussion. Naturally, it also reached Yan Gui's ears. He raised his brows, looked coldly at Ji Yu Qingwan not far away, and snorted. It's good, don't learn, I'll learn the pomp of the old antiques at Imperial University. However, he is a senior after all. Although I can't stand Ji Yu Qingwan's behavior. But not much to say. Turn your head and ignore it. Let me see, in the past 2 years, Longhua University feels that it will be overtaken by Imperial College. Of the 23 provincial champions last year, 13 went to Imperial University and 10 went to Longhua University. Really, I feel that Ji Yu Qingwan alone can beat a few provincial champions at Longhua University, not to mention that Ji Yu Qingwan is not the strongest in their class. If you compare the last year's champion Longxia of Imperial College with Ji Yu Qingwan, you'll be bullying. However, I think Ji Yu Qingwan's future growth potential may not be as good as that of the champion Longxia. That's needless to say. After all, she is a hidden professional element mage. The provincial champions of Longhua University are almost all rare professions. It is only a hidden profession. How can you compare it to Imperial University? If my son becomes the provincial champion in the future, I will definitely let him apply to Imperial University. Look, even this school uniform looks much better than Longhua University. Listen to the whispers of several people around. Yan Gui's mouth twitched slightly. I kept reminding myself in my heart not to discuss the length of the story with the fool. In addition to being able to pretend and deceive a lot of good seedlings, the guys from Imperial College University, what else can they compare to their Longhua University? Moreover, even in the first 2 years, I really didn't compare to Imperial College. Then this time, but not necessarily. When the time comes, Chen Yuan won the champion of Longxia. After joining them Longhua, see who else dares to force Lai Lai here. Ignorant idiot. The discussion did not last long. The person in charge of the Wenkai Academy in this auction hall came out to greet him in person. He led Ji Yu Qingwan to the senior VIP room, and after she was seated, he handed over the exhibition brochure for this auction and asked enthusiastically. Miss Ji Yu, what do you value in our auction this time? We can help you pay attention. Ji Yu Qingwan didn't speak, and those beautiful eyes stared directly at the exhibition brochure. The slender jade-like wrist flipped gently until it landed on one of the pages, and then stopped. The person in charge glanced out of the corner of the eye, and a warm smile immediately appeared on his face. Ms. Ji Yu, do you want this fire spirit snake? Our estimate for it is that the final transaction price should be around 2 million Longxia coins. I don't care how much it costs. Ji Yu Qingwan's tone was as cold as ever. I only care about results. It was as if a layer of frost had condensed all around. The person in charge of the auction had a slight cold sweat on his forehead. Right now, he only thought that no one would turn away his eyes later, and he had to grab the fire spirit snake with this guy. Otherwise, what will happen then, only God knows. About halfway through, auction is about to start. The VIP guests have all taken their seats. The rest of the ordinary buyers took their places under the leadership of the on-site staff. Among them, there is the swaying Yan Gui. Soon, the auction will begin. Wenkai Yuan is the organization with the most abundant financial resources in Longxia. At its auction, there are naturally countless treasures. For example, various types of silverware, treasures of heaven and earth, skill scrolls, etc. There are even rumors that the finale of this auction is a golden weapon. Gold, that is the equipment that countless people dream of. Countless professionals may never be able to get one in their entire life. However, these have nothing to do with Yan Gui. He just wanted to quickly get the fire spirit snake and send it to Chen Yuan. He was really looking forward to what kind of changes this fire spirit snake could bring to Chen Yuan, so that he had a 90% confidence in hitting Longxia's champion. One by one, the items that were photographed passed. The person who gets what he loves is overjoyed. Those who miss out because of lack of financial resources are downcast. Yan Gui, who had nothing to do with himself, was taking a nap in boredom. Until the auctioneer took out a special spiritual cage made by the Lubin Union from his personal space. Among them, there is a smart snake composed of flames. The next item to be auctioned is called Fire Spirit Snake. Generally speaking, such spiritual things will only appear in places where the fire element is extremely rich. They are extremely rare, but they don't do much for the average person. But be careful, if you are a fire elemental mage, or a professional who uses fire elemental as the main combat ability. It may be of unexpected help to you. Its starting price 1 million dragon summer coins. As the auctioneer's voice fell, Yan Gui, who was still dozing, raised his head suddenly. Directly lit up his own sign. 1.2 million dragon summer coins once. Shouted the auctioneer. Anyone want to increase the price? The auctioneer looked around the audience, but few people held signs. After all, this fire snake can be used in very few scenes, and generally only people with special needs will choose to buy it. 1.2 million second time. 1.3 million. Off the field, someone finally raised a sign. 1.3 million for the first time. Yan Gui pouted. Don't want to waste time here. The 2 million sign was raised directly. The auctioneer did not expect that someone would increase the price so much at once. After being slightly stunned, he shouted, 2 million for the first time. 2 million second time. Generally speaking, shouted a third time. If no one increases the price, it's like it's settled. Yan Gui was even ready to get up. Take the fire snake and go. The result is at this time. A certain area of the VIP room. A new offer lights up. 3 million. 3 million for the first time. Auctioneers are numb. This fire snake. The auction price estimated by experts from the Wenkai Academy is almost 2 million. Now there is a person coming directly, and it is 3 million. Yan Gui did not expect that someone would continue to increase the price after 2 million. With a frown, he looked at the VIP room where the offer was made. It's just that the VIP rooms of the Wenkai are all isolated magic circles set up by platinum-level secret circle masters. Even if Yan Gui is a gold-level powerhouse, he cannot see through the circle and see the people in the VIP room. Which little brat is messing with Lao Su? Yan Gui cursed in a low voice and held up a 3.5 million sign. Soon, the VIP room lit up another 4 million. Yan Gui gritted his teeth and lit up 4.5 million. This time, the VIP room did not offer any further quotations. Apparently, 4.5 million has exceeded her budget. 4.5 million. Deal. As the auctioneer announced the sale, the spiritual cage containing the fire snake was handed over to Yan Gui. Yan Guiru looked at the fire snake that hissed towards him in pain, gritted his teeth and stared at the VIP seat that was bidding with him not far away, and strode out of the auction. In the VIP room, it was a comfortable room temperature. It has suddenly dropped to freezing point. Even, the wall has gradually been covered with ice slag. Ji Yu Qingwan left the VIP room with a cold face. Yan Gui carried the spiritual power cage. I plan to go back to Longhua Academy and use the teleportation array to send this fire snake to Chen Yuan. But he didn't go far, and he felt the cold breath behind him. Yan Gui raised his brows, turned around, and met Ji Yu Qingwan's gaze. I didn't bring much money just now. Give me 1 day, 5 million, to buy the fire snake in your hand. Ji Yu Qingwan didn't talk nonsense, and said straight to the point. The tone is like a condescending queen, not giving others a chance to consider. Sell it if you say it. Who do you think you are? Yan Gui sneered. Others give Ji Yu Qingwan face. That's because they are concerned about Ji Yu Qingwan's strength and background. He Yan Gui, need to give her face. I really want, let Li Wan's mother-in-law come to ask Laozi. By the way, even if she really came to beg me, I won't give it. Play while you play. Done. Turn around and leave. Only halfway there. Stop suddenly. Turn around and look at Ji Yu Qingwan. Raised his middle finger. You girl follows Li Wan's mother-in-law. What's not good to learn? You have to learn her bird face, and you put on an air every day, thinking that you are the best. I told you, at your level, I will find a student to crush you in minutes. Crooked melon and cracked juju. Sprayed out in a fit of rage. Yan Gui went straight away. After being beaten, Ji Yu Qingwan stood in place. His face was even more ugly than before. Li Wan, her tutor, is the head of the magic department of Imperial College. The tone of the other party is obviously that he knows his mentor, and he doesn't care. In this situation, there is only one possibility. The plain-looking old man. He is a professor at Longhua University. The status is definitely not low. Only, he said it was just himself. But what does his last sentence mean? Find a student in minutes and crush yourself. Ji Yu Qingwan's eyes were cold. A sneering smile appeared on the corner of his mouth. Then I'll take a look. Longhua University, what kind of genius can you attract? Evening. Chen Yuan just came back from the wild. Today's upgrade task is successfully completed. Successfully upgraded from LV.8 to LV.9. Strength, agility, and spiritual power have each increased by 1 point. For Kai Fei, because the level is too high, killing those mobs in the wild will provide almost no experience. Buzzing. The phone rings. The caller ID is Yan Gui. So fast. Chen Yuan was slightly surprised. After connecting the phone, Yan Gui's triumphant voice came from the other end. I brought you the fire spirit snake, give me an address, and I'll send it to you. That's trouble for Professor Yan, my home is. Okay, I'm already in Hangzhou. I'll be there in 10 minutes. Hang up the phone. I don't know when the Red Crimson turned into a human form. Directly gave Chen Yuan a wall dong. The pair of good-looking foxes stared at Chen Yuan firmly. You said that you would give me a little blessing of fire, so what are you talking about? Don't worry, as long as it's what I promised, I won't regret it. Chen Yuan pushed Kai Fei away. Some said helplessly. However, he actually wanted to know too. After Kai Fei took blessing of fire, to what extent would her bloodline be increased? 10 minutes passed quickly. A familiar figure appeared around the corner. It was Yan Gui who was carrying the spiritual power cage. Professor Yan. Chen Yuan took the initiative to say hello. After all, the other party came from the imperial capital through the teleportation array, and they were sincere. Sorry, what do you call a professor? You have more points. If you don't dislike it, just call me Uncle Yan in the future. By the way, it's better to call me Brother Yan. Don't look at my bald head, I'm actually only in my 50s. Let's call Uncle Yan. Chen Yuan coughed lightly. Shout how you like. Then, this is the fire spirit snake, for you. Having said that, Yan Gui handed over the spiritual power cage containing the fire spirit snake. Chen Yuan took it, and the eye of true sight opened. After confirming that it contained the fire spirit snake, the smile on the corner of his mouth could no longer be suppressed. It's finally here. Secret medicine, flame blessing, fire element affinity with resonance level, high-level fire element spell. Hey, looking at you like this, is Longshaw's champion stable? Yan Gui noticed Chen Yuan's smile and asked cheerfully. If there is no accident, it should be stable. Chen Yuan was not polite and admitted it directly and generously. In his opinion, humility are only the performance of those who are not strong enough. Good boy, look after you. Yan Gui gave Chen Yuan a thumbs up. Just next, eyeballs rolled. Suddenly, he took Chen Yuan's shoulder like a brother. Then what? Yu Yanbo beg you to do something. Looking at the mysterious old man, Chen Yuan was taken aback. What's up, Ji Yu Qingwan, do you know me? No, the last provincial champion, hidden professional element mage. At the auction, she also wanted this fire spirit snake, but I robbed it. What? That guy is very arrogant, so I gave her a harsh word. I said that when the time comes, I will find a student to crush her and let her know what it means to be someone else, and there is a heaven outside of it. Saying that, Yan Gui seemed a little embarrassed. I said this, I just thought, I guess only you can suppress that arrogant girl. If you can, help me teach her a lesson. That's what happened. Chen Yuan couldn't help but smile bitterly. Is this Yan Gui really a professor at Longhua University? How do you feel like a child's temper? But that's exactly what happened. He really liked Yan Gui. At least, real, not contrived. Only, want him to teach Ji Yu Qingwan a lesson. If I remember correctly, Ji Yu Qingwan is about to turn 3 now. At that time, when she is at the golden rank, she should be at the bronze rank at most. Another leapfrog challenge, but the problem is, she is not a stinky fish, but a hidden professional element mage. Is thinking. The panel of the original world suddenly jumped out in front of me. Original recommendation: you can learn a lot from Elemental Mage. Balancing several elements is an advanced art. Ding. One of the guided tasks for advanced wizards. Learn multi-element balance knowledge in actual combat. Reward. Primary forbidden spell, a copy of the core of the Wizard's Tower. Forbidden spell, Wizard Tower core. What is this all about? World Original Book, Taboo, Forbidden spell. Forbidden spell, a kind of terrifying secret technique involving the principles of high-level spells, with power and efficacy beyond ordinary spells. Primary forbidden spell check spiritual power limit 300. World Original, Forbidden Chapter, Wizard Tower. Wizard's Tower, one of the high-level forms of existence that can sublimate the power of wizards. Components core, law framework, door. Detailed view of mental power requirements 1000. If you read the introduction of the primary forbidden spell, Chen Yuan feels better. After all, 300 mental strength points is not too difficult to achieve. Compared with the previous full-body Mask of Nothingness S500 mental power requirements, it is much lower. But when he saw the introduction about the Wizard's Tower, Chen Yuan's head was a little foggy. 1000 points of mental power, to be able to view the details. What kind of existence is this Wizard Tower? Generally speaking, this spiritual power, even a diamond-level spell professional can't reach it, right? Maybe only the legendary demigod can achieve that. In this way, the Wizard Tower core rewarded by the system. What kind of existence will it be? Incomparably strong curiosity. Let Chen Yuan complete this task no matter what. Close the system panel. Take a deep breath. With the simple intention of recasting the glory of Longhua University, Chen Yuan agreed to Yan Gui's request. Good boy, old man, I know I'm not looking for the wrong person. Yan Gui rubbed his hands excitedly. Those guys with eyes on their heads at Imperial University. Treat that Ji Yu Qingwan like something, and let her become that stinky temper. Now, it's time to frustrate her. Then you are busy first, I will go back to the Imperial capital first. Waiting for the good news of your big exam. In the room, Kai Fei was lying on the table quietly, looking at Chen Yuan's serious face. I don't know why, but there is an inexplicable feeling of my heart beating faster. No wonder Grandma once said that when a man is most attractive, he takes one thing seriously. Kai Fei thought to herself, the fluffy tail swayed unconsciously. Call Chen Yuan, who has been concentrating on preparing medicines. Just at this moment, he raised his head and reached out to wipe the sweat from his forehead. As expected of a secret medicine-level potion, it's really a bit difficult. What, you failed? Kai Fei raised her head curiously, looking at the reagent tube in front of Chen Yuan. Just a glance made Kai Fei stunned. I saw that in the reagent tube, the red medicine exuded a faint red light. Among them, the surging flocculent patterns are like dancing flame spirits. What a nice view. Kai Fei's eyes lingered for a while. There was even a hint of reluctance to take it. What a joke. In the dictionary of a qualified wizard, there is never the word failure, there are only not yet successful. Chen Yuan chuckled and picked up the reagent in front of him. Divided 1/5 of the test tube with a smaller unit and handed it to Kai Fei. Kai Fei stretched her body lightly, turned into a human form, and reached out to receive 1/5 of the flame blessing. Thanks. This thank you is sincere and sincere. No need, this is something I promised you. Chen Yuan gently shook the remaining 4/5 of the potion in the test tube, not caring. Kai Fei nodded and took the initiative to go to the other end of the room. After taking the medicine in the small test tube with his head up, reincarnated as a red fox. Immediately after, countless active fire elements. A cocoon gradually formed around Kai Fei, wrapping her in it. It seems that Kai Fei should complete the evolution of her bloodline in it. Then, it's my turn. Chen Yuan looked at the beautiful and mysterious potion in his hand. After mental preparation, the same goes for a mouthful. First entrance, there doesn't seem to be any feeling yet. But soon, an extremely intense burning sensation. From the mouth, to the throat, esophagus, stomach. It was almost as if a raging fire was ignited in Chen Yuan's body, burning his internal organs continuously. Boom! That severe pain made Chen Yuan almost fainted. When he was about to fall, he suddenly supported the wall beside him, so that he could barely stand. I don't know if it was hallucinations or what. The sound of burning flames seemed to fill Chen Yuan's mind. What is burning? Is it the body? Should it be blood? Or is it spiritual? Everything is unknown. What you see with your eyes is nothing else. There is only one, unquenchable, flame. Sudden, in the corner of the room. In the fire cocoon condensed by the fire element. A huge flaming tail sticks out. After gently rolling up Chen Yuan. Back in the fire cocoon. In the cocoon, Kai Fei is not in the form of a red fox. Instead, it curled up in human form. When Chen Yuan was caught in a cocoon of flames, she opened her hand suddenly and gently, surrounded and hugged Chen Yuan's body. When you wake up the next day, Chen Yuan found himself lying on the bed. The burning sensation after taking blessing of fire. It has long since disappeared without a trace. Instead, it was a warm feeling that seemed to come from the blood. This feeling is very comfortable. Sit up slowly from the bed. He rubbed his dazed head. Yesterday, his last memory. Only after being caught in a cocoon of fire. The rest, I don't remember at all. Are you awake? Kai Fei's voice came. Chen Yuan just found out. She was sitting by the bed. He was holding a rice ball in his left hand and took a bite. The other hand took a rice ball from the table and handed it over. Here, have something to eat. Thanks. Chen Yuan didn't mention what happened in the cocoon of fire yesterday. After silently taking the rice ball, he took a bite. Well, there is no problem with the sense of taste. Hey, Kai Fei suddenly let out a soft cry. Chen Yuan turned his head slightly. Don't get me wrong, nothing happened to us yesterday. Seeing that you don't seem to be very comfortable with the fusion of fire elements, so I pulled you in to help you relieve. After all, you are my contract signer. If something happens to you, I will definitely have nothing to do. Kai Fei bit her lip lightly. She actually had a big psychological struggle yesterday. But seeing Chen Yuan's painful expression, she couldn't help but soften her heart in the end. It must be caused by that weird contract. Taking a bite of the rice ball, Kai Fei thought absent-mindedly. Chen Yuan just smiled at Kai Fei's explanation. He didn't really care what happened last night. After eating the rice ball that Kai Fei handed over, she rested for a while, and her drowsy head gradually recovered. By the way, what happened after you took blessing of fire? After almost fully recovered, Chen Yuan looked at Kai Fei and asked curiously. A second tail has grown again. Kai Fei said, the two fluffy tails behind her shook. Having a second life back, anymore. Also, my strength should have reached the peak of the silver rank, but it is still a little far from breaking through to the golden rank. Peak silver rank. Chen Yuan opened the eyes of true vision and looked at it. The original LV.21 Kai Fei has been upgraded to LV.29. This terrifying upgrade speed made Chen Yuan envious of the terrifying bloodline of the nine-tailed red fox. How about you? Now it was Kai Fei's turn to be curious. You take 4 times as much blessing of fire as mine, haven't you changed anything? Change, there should be. Chen Yuan raised his hand. No ability to use elemental attraction. But there are still a lot of fire elements gathered. Until a puff, the fire element was ignited. The scorching flames began to dance in Chen Yuan's palm. It is like a spirit of fire, approaching the family of fire. This is resonance. This scene let Kai Fei on the side open her mouth slightly. Seeing the throbbing flames in Chen Yuan's palm, his eyes were full of shock. Is this elemental resonance? To know, Kai Fei is now close to the strength of the peak of the silver rank. Plus the bonus of the nine-tailed red fox bloodline. It has just reached the level of resonance. Even if you don't use spells in time, you can also control the fire element. As a human being, Chen Yuan has reached this level. Looking at the unbelievable scarlet, Chen Yuan casually extinguished the flame in his hand and said with a chuckle. You also know that blessing of fire is a secret medicine. The dose I take is 4 times yours. It's not surprising that it has this effect. That's what I said. But if I remember correctly, generally speaking, you humans, even if you are a professional with an elemental bias, often can only achieve resonance by advancing to the golden rank. A strange light flashed in Kai Fei's eyes, and she felt that Chen Yuan's mystery was deeper than she imagined. Ignoring Kai Fei's surprise, Chen Yuan got up and got out of bed. Now that the consumption of blessing of fire has been completed, the affinity level of the fire element has been raised to resonance. Then, it's time to learn more advanced fire elemental spells. World Originals. As Chen Yuan thought about it, the World Original is opened again. World Original Books, Spells, Elements. Fire Element Chapter. Mental Strength Testing, up to standard. Open Intermediate Spell Chapter. Low-level spells generally refer to spells that black iron and bronze professionals can master and learn. Middle-level spells, naturally, correspond to silver-level and gold-level powerhouses. Compared with the low-level spells on the bad street, the middle-level spells have gradually become rare. If it is said that the learning scrolls of low-level spells generally cost thousands to tens of thousands, then even the most common middle-level spells, the price of learning scrolls, will be more than 100,000. Better yet, even in the hundreds of thousands. Even the top of the middle-level spells is likely to reach the price of 1 million or 10 million. As for the spell scrolls of the platinum rank and diamond rank, that's almost impossible to get to the market. Even if there is, it is rare. World Original. Search for the strongest single and range fire element skills that can be learned at present. Searching. Search completed. The strongest single fire element skill that can be learned at present: Flaming Bite. Flame Curse. Curse from the flame. The flame condenses into the shape of a demon and devours the enemy. Basic requirements for learning: 60 points of mental power. Learning difficulty: difficult. Learning source: self-comprehension. Scroll learning: original simulation. Original recommendation: the most powerful single fire element skill at present, it is recommended to learn. The strongest area-based fire element skill that can be learned at present: Inferno. Fire Prison forms a fire prison within the target range, and the never-extinguishing fire will burn everything. Basic requirements for learning: 65 points of mental power. Learning difficulty: difficult. Learning source: self-comprehension. Scroll learning: original simulation. Original recommendation: a large-scale lethal skill. It has a very good effect on leveling in the wild and dungeon clearance. It is recommended to learn. Chen Yuan had never heard of the 2 fire attribute spells recommended by the World Classic. This means that they are by no means ordinary middle-level spells, but some rare quality skills. This can actually be seen from their requirements for spiritual power. The needs of 60 and 65 points of spiritual power are almost not met by the silver rank. These 2 skills should be close to the top-level existence of intermediate-level spells. In terms of power, the Inferno of the area-based skill should be weaker than the single-type Inflammation, but it should be around the golden rank. After deciding what skills to learn, Chen Yuan didn't start using the cannon simulation easily. Both skills are difficult to learn. Even if Chen Yuan thinks that his talent is very high, it must be a little reluctant to learn both at the same time. At present, if you use an original simulation, you need to use 6 low-level spiritual tonics to supplement it. However, due to the limitation of the black iron rank, within 24 hours, only 10 can be used. If you want to improve this limit, you need to advance to the bronze rank. After thinking for a while, we came to the best conclusion. Learn Hell first. Then use its area damage effect to farm a lot of monsters in the wild. When you reach LV.10, you will be promoted to the bronze rank, and the limited number of low-level spiritual tonics will increase. After that, learn Flame Bite again, and use the job transfer scroll to advance to the profession. Perfect. After thinking about it, Chen Yuan directly started the first original simulation. In virtual space, Inferno used by the Faceless. The large space in front of him has been reduced to a cage of flames. Among them, a large number of monster models simulated by lines and light spots uttered shrill screams in the prison composed of flames, and were subsequently killed and burned. It can be seen that this is an extremely efficient method of massacre, which makes Chen Yuan mesmerized. The first classic simulation is over. Chen Yuan felt that he had only mastered less than 30% of it. After taking the next 6 low-level mental power supplements, the mental power is replenished. The second original simulation. Start. Soon, the second classic simulation also ended. In Chen Yuan's mind, almost all the spells corresponding to Inferno work. The simulation this time allowed him to master Inferno to 70%. Almost as long as you do it again, you should be able to completely master Inferno. After taking the remaining 4 mental power supplements within 24 hours, the remaining mental power needs to slowly recover over time. After 4 hours, the mental power was restored again. Chen Yuan didn't stop, he just started the third simulation of the original script in one go. At the same time, silent forest, in eerie silence. Suddenly a crack appeared. After the crack, there seems to be an indescribable eye-watching. Slowly, a large amount of unknown black gas was emitted from the crack. The monster in the silent forest, at the moment when it is contaminated with black air. The flesh and blood on his body instantly disintegrated and turned into a bunch of dead bones. But a weird thing happened. The monsters that turned into bones actually moved. All of them are facing the high wall of Hangzhou City not far away. Attacked. 6 p.m. Hangzhou officials suddenly issued an emergency notice. For unknown reasons, with the silent forest on the east side of our city as the source, a large number of monsters have turned into undead creatures. The average level has been raised to LV.15, and they are continuously attacking the city wall. A large number of professionals above the bronze rank with large-scale destructive skills are now being summoned to exterminate monsters. After the announcement was spread, immediately it caused quite a stir. Everyone knows that the average level of monsters in Silent Forest is only about LV.5 to LV.8. What happened to cause the average level of its monsters to instantly increase to LV.15? What's more, he was madly turned into an undead creature. That's an undead creature. In Longshar, the distribution of undead creatures is not much. Or in other words, even on a global scale, undead creatures are rare. But this doesn't mean they are weak. The opposite is true. Unless the energy source is completely cut off, an undead creature that will never die otherwise. It can be said to be everyone's nightmare. What the hell happened in Silent Forest? It will lead to the emergence of a large number of undead creatures. Even attacked the high wall of Hangzhou City. Just when people are panicking. Hangzhou Municipal Government Hall. Emergency meeting room. Zhao Zhengguo, who was sitting in the first place, frowned. He received news just now that special spatial fluctuations had been detected in Silent Forest. Special space fluctuations, undead. These words are joined together. This made Zhao Zhengguo vaguely conjecture the cause of the incident. However, this conjecture has not been confirmed. If so, well, this thing may be not too bad. On the contrary, there may be some benefits to the development of Hangzhou. While he was thinking, the Secretary of Education spoke up. Head of the city, it's time for the big test in 2 days. If you can, you must resolve this matter within these 2 days. Otherwise, I'm afraid that the students will be affected by that time, resulting in failure of the big exam. Zhao Zhengguo came back to his senses. After thinking for a while, he nodded. That's for sure, students' big exams must not be delayed. Don't worry, according to the detection, the average level of the wave of undead is only about 15, and things are completely within the controllable range. Old Zhang, how's the gathering of those who fought to exterminate? The man Zhao Zhengguo called Lao Zhang was called Zhang Gong. The head of the Special Operations Department of Hangzhou City, the peak strength of the silver rank. Report to the head of the city. There are 3 silver-ranked citizens and 46 bronze-ranked citizens who are voluntarily participating in the extermination battle. In addition to our city's self-defense team, 5 silver rank and 120 bronze rank should be enough to deal with this wave of undead. Okay, then get ready and leave the city immediately. Yes, when Chen Yuan woke up leisurely. It's getting late. The third original simulation. Let him completely grasp the principle of Inferno spellcasting. It's just that after exiting the virtual world, the spiritual power of the void can no longer be supplemented by low-level spiritual power supplements, and can only be slowly recovered through sleep. Up to now, although the mental power has not fully recovered, it has also recovered. Aside, Kai Fei was leaning on the sofa, eating tomato-flavored potato chips while watching TV. Those slender and rounded long legs sat cross-legged. She was wearing the pajamas that Chen Yuan bought for her. Loose and slouchy, but still able to outline her perfect body curve. In addition, the red hair that was obviously still wet and not yet completely dried. He should have taken a bath while Chen Yuan was sleeping. Seeing Chen Yuan wake up, Kai Fei asked a little casually. There seemed to be an emergency announcement on TV just now, do you want to watch it? Emergency notice. Looking back from Kai Fei's neckline, Chen Yuan was slightly taken aback. Picking up the phone, I started to check what was going on while I was sleeping. Silent woods. Crazy. Undead. Calling for professionals with large-scale destructive skills. Look at. Chen Yuan suddenly thought. Tons of undead monsters. Levels are all around LV.15. Gathered together to attack the high walls of Hang City. Isn't this a perfect chance to level up the Inferno that I just mastered? But the area killing skills of the golden rank. Isn't this a godsend? But then look down. Bronze rank and above professionals. And this limitation. But think about it, it makes sense. Those crazy undead creatures are all around level 15. If a professional of the Black Iron rank goes, it is no different from being sent to death. Of course, people's bodies are different. Other people's Black Iron rank, and his Black Iron rank, naturally cannot be compared. Exit the news interface and go directly to the dial. Chen Yuan called Zhao Zhangguo. This phone number was given to him by Zhao Zhangguo outside the copy of Loyan Island that day. Soon, the phone is connected. Hey, Chief Zhao. I saw the notice you sent, and I want to ask, I haven't been promoted to the bronze rank, but I also want to participate in the extermination. Shouldn't it be a problem? What? Safety issues. Don't worry, I have absolute confidence that I can protect myself in the event of danger. Okay, then I'll go directly to the city wall to gather. Hang up the phone. Chen Yuan prepared a little. Walking to the sofa, he called Kai Fei. Let's go, level up. Administration Hall. After answering Chen Yuan's call, Zhao Zhangguo was still a little uneasy in his heart. Although from the current situation, there should be little danger of an extermination operation. But the problem is that the specific reason for the mutation in Silent Forest has not yet been identified. Although he promised Chen Yuan to let him participate in the extermination battle. But after all, he is the seed of Longsha's champion, if something goes wrong. After thinking for a long time, Zhao Zhangguo called Zhang Gong. Hey, Lao Zhang, I have something I want to explain to you. There will be a student named Chen Yuan who will also participate in the extermination operation. You should take care of it. He is a Black Iron rank for the time being, but his strength is definitely a silver rank. Let me put it this way, he is our city's seed player who is expected to be the champion of Longsha this year. This eradication operation should be because he wants to experience himself. His profession is a wizard, so he shouldn't have much area killing ability. You can arrange him to be a little bit behind. Okay, that's it, you are busy first. City Gate. Zhang Gong's expression was a little strange. Chen Yuan, a Black Iron rank student. A seed player who is expected to hit the Longxia champion. They still have such students in Hangzhou. Why have I never heard of it? And also, his profession turned out to be a wizard. Zhang Gong himself does not have any professional discrimination. The problem is that the notice has already explained. To be recruited are professionals with large-scale destructive skills. Wizards, obviously not in that range. Forget it, since it was Zhao Shisho who spoke in person, so be it. He really wanted to see, how could a wizard become the seed player to challenge Longsha's champion? You must know that Ji Yu Qingwan, who was amazing and brilliant in the last session, only won the provincial champion. She is an incomparably powerful elemental mage in the hidden profession. In comparison, wizards, no matter how you look at them, you can't compare them, right? I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.